Fact of the matter is, dude, the office is where I spend most of my time. / the pantry. Jake Rome hit me with that last week. Yo, I see you going back in your office. I'm like, touche, Junior. I'm more of a sugar guy than a salt guy. I'm more of a weekend liquor guy than a salt or sugar guy. And the liquor is a gateway to very poor choices. I've tried to work on that. I'm not going to lie. So what do I get into? I'm more of a dessert guy. If we go out and I have a pop or a pop and a half responsibly, I may find my way to dessert, but not nearly as much as I used to. It's Super Bowl season, man. It's cut season. Logan Rome is in bulk season, and the old man is in cut season. Like this conversation we had, remember at the end of the year when we went to Mexico? I was just gripping all the way home like, damn, I do not want to get on that scale. I do not want to get on that scale. I don't even want to know how much weight I put on. Rogan Loam was actually saying, man, I do not want to get on that scale. I do not want to see how much weight I've lost. This is the conversation we have. I'm tripping about how much weight that I've gained on vacation, and my high school senior is tripping about how much weight he lost on vacation. And the guy can eat whatever he wants on vacation, but can't load up the way he normally does or hit the weight room the way he normally does. And we both were pissed when we got home. He lost weight. How do you lose weight on vacation? Like he lost 5 and I gained 5. And we both were pissed. Yimmy, is there a dump button for Jim Rome's Big Head Bets podcast? Or has anything ever needed to be edited in post? Patrick. I mean, dude, are you for real? The whole point of that podcast is there is no dump button. We can do and say whatever we want. That's the whole point of Jim Rome's Big Head Bets. We don't dump anything. We don't edit anything. Have you ever heard it? Have you ever heard the podcast? Have you ever heard the 4-letter bombs? Have you ever heard how badly James Kelly butchers the language? If we wanted to clean it up, we would. And by the way, Alvin's just not having it. Alvin's like, dude, it's done. I'm not doing anything for this. If we had to clean it up, it would take Alvin another month per episode. No, dude. The only thing more ridiculous than that question is, Jimmy Jim, what is your favorite variety of Lunchables? Brent and PC. Brent, I'm going to ask you the same thing I just asked Patrick. Are you for real? Dude, do I look like I'm 8 years old? My favorite variety of Lunchables. That's like asking me, yo, dude, do you still sleep in a race car bed? What is your favorite lunchbox? Batman or Superman? No, Brent, I don't eat Lunchables, dude. I'm 58, not 8. Hey, Jimmy, what's your favorite Capri Sun flavor? Hey, Jimmy, what's your favorite Cap'n Crunch? Come on, Brent. Stop being a troll. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. They're close, they're convenient, they're known for guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from the professional parts people you know you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com. See you, we're out. Welcome to mile 12,002. Your dog just locked you out on a cross-country road trip. Fortunately, your Tucson comes with available Hyundai Digital Key, so your compatible smartphone is all you need to get back on the road. When it comes to smooth sailing, we are thinking of every single mile. The new Hyundai Tucson. It's your journey. Test drive the new Tucson at your nearest Hyundai dealer or learn more at HyundaiUSA.com. HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
Here's a message just for the attorneys out there. So you passed the bar, joined a firm, or even built your own. Now are you finding out that you're doing more administration than actual law practice? Lexicon can help. Lexicon is a legal technology provider with over a decade of experience streamlining administrative tasks like timekeeping, billing, and more, so you can focus on maximizing billable hours and increasing client satisfaction. Call 855-4-LEXICON or visit lexiconservices.com/go to learn more.
If you missed the Brian Bailey Show, you missed.
Riley Davis, assistant coach under Mike Schwartz, joins us. The Pirates have never been to the NIT. I mean, there's just something that's there that Coach Schwartz and you guys have to get over that hump. Is that going to be difficult?
Oh, I think, of course. Anybody that takes the job like we have, you believe you can. So, obviously, we're going to be a little biased. And I'm not going to pretend to have all the answers either, you know.
Yeah.
We're young. When we play other teams, it doesn't feel like we're just being out-talented. And I know that feeling. But what it feels like is we're being out-experienced.
Tune in Mondays at noon for the Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, right here on Pirate Radio.
Do you suffer from chronic aches, pains, or muscle tightness? Hey, I'm Jordan Mikesell with Bodies in Balance in Greenville. With degrees in physical, occupational, and massage therapy and certifications in stretching and flexibility, we know how stretching and massage can bring long-term results so you can live a pain-free and healthy life. Continue enjoying the activities you love by calling or texting 252-916-4530 to schedule your first stretch consultation or massage today. For more info, visit bodiesinbalance.com so you can start living an active life today.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Greenville's newest sports bar is officially open. Coco's Sports Bar, located in the old Professor O'Cool's location right off of Greenville Boulevard, has daily specials, including $2.50 aluminum bottles on Tuesdays and $1 wings on Wednesdays. Along with their great food, Coco's has great entertainment for you and the crew to enjoy with karaoke on Thursdays, a live DJ on Fridays, and live music every Saturday night. Check out Coco's Sports Bar on Facebook for the latest information on menu items, drinking lunch specials, and more. Go Pirates!
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
Winslow's is now Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room. With a brand new look, Fifth Street Hardware also has a new menu and serving lunch and dinner every Tuesday through Sunday and brunch starting at 10:30 on Sundays. What else is new? Well, they have poker every Tuesday night, Trivia Wednesday with DJ Captain Morgan, and on Friday and Saturday nights they have live music open till 2 a.m. serving light appetizers all night long. New look, new name, same location on Fifth Street. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for more specials. Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed.
Alec Burleson joining us. Where will you begin your 2023 baseball season? Is it in St. Louis? Is it in Memphis? Is it to be determined? What do you know right now?
Yeah, it's to be determined. I mean, I think it'll all depend on, how they want the roster to look, how I perform in spring training. Obviously, I'm going to have some good opportunities with the WBC, so that'll give me and a lot of the young guys opportunity to kind of flash what we can do.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6. Right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
Well, I just think we were prepared. One thing my trainer, he told me, he said, what did he say? He just told us to be prepared.
All right.
Hi. I want me some glory hole.
Dude, you ain't Moss. I'm the boss. cojones.
It's me, Nancy Garcia.
I'm sorry. All right.
How about those friggin' pirates?
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome into a Victory Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. How about those freaking pirates? Welcome in. Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. You can find us on 1250, 930, online, pr927fm.com. And watch the show and be a part of the show on Facebook Live and YouTube. We'll be interacting with you throughout these next 3 hours right here on the program. So please chime in with your questions, comments, concerns, whatever you got here on this Wednesday. And we'll have a hearty, robust sports discussion here on the program. Coming up in about 25 minutes or so, we'll visit with the voice, Jeff Charles. He will join us fresh off painting it purple last night. We were overdue for that. Great to see a win inside of Minges Coliseum. Pirates knocking off Tulsa last night. Big performances by Brandon Johnson and R.J. Felton. We'll talk about that in detail throughout today's show. We'll visit with the voice coming up later on in hour number 1. Hour 2, Patrick Mason was on hand in Minges Coliseum last night. We'll talk some hoops and more with Patrick. Also was at ECU Baseball Media Day, peppering Cliff Godwin and the players with questions, and we'll talk some Pirate baseball in hour 2. We'll do that in hour 3 as well with Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors, who was on hand last night in Minges, and we'll be there again tonight when the women's basketball Pirates take on Memphis. And, boy, they have been playing great. We talked to Kim McNeil on the show on Tuesday. Her Pirates in action tonight, trying to continue their stellar play inside Minges Coliseum and their very solid play in American Athletic Conference competition. So we will talk about that as well on today's program and a whole lot more. Shirley Rhodes is here. The Chan Man, Chandler Honeycutt, here on a Wednesday. Good to see everybody. We are in our black today. Blacking it out. Back in black. Paint it black.
Yep. Blackout Wednesday.
Well, we knew it was going to be a rainy afternoon, so I figured we address accordingly.
And the wind is whipping outside the Pirate Radio studios. I see the brownish orange. What color would you call those leaves on that tree, Shirley? It's almost a gold, in fact.
Yeah, like a goldish, maybe like a semi-dark beige.
A semi-dark beige.
Semi-dark beige.
The semi-dark beige leaves.
Flapping around in the wind.
I was going to say flitter. Is flitter a word?
It's flittering.
It is flittering.
They're dancing in the wind.
Dancing in the wind.
The tree in the wind.
They're tickling the airwaves.
Steve Hill says Clipper. Burgley. A burgley. Brown local. Steve Hill says 2 little butt cheeks.
It's 2 little butt cheeks.
He also wants the Troy D. Cy.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait a minute. That's a different page.
Oh,
hey.
All right. There that is. He also wants to send it down to Tony. State wins last night over Notre Dame.
Let's send it down to Tony.
There you go. Thank you.
And amongst all the...
Chad says, hello, everyone. Nice hat, Clip.
That is a nice hat. I can't say it. Don't you thank him.
I have no response to that.
Yep.
Because I didn't make the hat. I didn't design it.
Do you thank the people at Down East Wood Ducks? Or, I mean, do you...
You would thank them for making, I guess, a cool logo.
Yeah.
But really, you need to thank the ones that put the needle and thread, put it all together.
Stitched it together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank them. Give them the compliments. Tim says, hello, Clip Brock and crew. Hello,
Tim.
Timmy.
Timbo.
Robert says, cool, neat story. That might be a different page, Robert.
Cool, neat story.
Cool, neat story.
All right, got all that out of the way. That is how we say hello here on Pirate Radio Live.
My guy.
Hey, my guy. Just random phrases, comments, sound bites.
I want me some glory hole.
Thank you, Jerry. Well, you're going to have to wait another year.
You are the suck on that all year.
You decrepit old ghoul.
We're going to have to suck on that off season.
Better luck next time. Go talk to Mike McCarthy about, and maybe new Panthers head coach Kellen Moore. about what went wrong against the 49ers. Kellen Moore
got his second interview today.
Second interview. I saw Jeff Saturdays getting his second interview with the Colts. What the hell are they talking about?
What is going on?
Unbelievable!
It is unbelievable, Corey. I don't believe it, but hey, whatever. Chad says, geez, you wear it nicely. Thank you, Chad. I'll say thank you to that.
Igoe looks good. That's all that matters.
We'll find out if that's true. We are hot today on a Wednesday. How about that?
I guess that's how you'll have to go along in the future, like telling people, hey, you wear that coat nicely.
That coat looks nice on you?
Yeah. Hey, but if I say nice coat, all bets are off. All thank yous are off.
I know. That's why I bought it. Like, that sounds so bad, but what are we doing here? Yeah. Let's think about what we're saying to people.
Right. Think before you speak.
Exactly. That's the lesson. The lesson we are getting across today.
Think before you think.
Last night, I want that. What's that called, Shirley? Like, older folks have it in their home, and like the, it's like on the wall, like in
monogram.
Cursive.
Or no. Like, I know what you're talking about. It's like home decor.
Yeah, not necessarily monogram, but what is it called? The act of, so it's in a frame, it's a phrase, it's in cursive.
Stitched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like a cross stitch type deal.
I think that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Cross stitch that, Chandler.
Yeah.
Think before you think.
Think before you think.
I like it. Last night, the Pirates took down Tulsa 76-66. I don't know what that song is. There's only one song I hear in Minji's Coliseum. And I don't know what that song is either. Pirates win it last night. Big night for Brandon Johnson, 24 points. R.J. Felton, 23 points in the win. My mop of the game, most outstanding Pirate, Luigi DeBeau.
Yep.
Chandler, you asked Mike Schwartz about Luigi DeBeau after the game. Great question, by the way.
Thank you.
We'll hear some of Mike Schwartz's comments on today's program. We need to get Peter Foote on the line.
Pete.
We need to get Big Pete, former Pirate Radio intern.
Big Pete or Big Feet? What did you say?
Big Pete with the big feet.
Yeah, okay.
We need to get Feeder. Well, let's call him Feeder.
Feeder. Feeder Put.
Give Feeder on the line because he does something with the stats. He keep up with the stats.
I know he at least distributes the stats.
He's a stat distributor.
He's a stat distributor to the broadcaster.
What is a stat?
Of course, is a statistic you can look at.
That's right.
Thanks,
that's right.
Bailey. Thanks, Bailey.
Because I need a stat on. He's got 7 rebounds, right?
7 rebounds.
That
no
doesn't
points.
begin to tell the story.
Nope.
I need a stat on how many I need a stat on tip balls, A. I need a stat on how many tip balls Luigi DeBeau has that leads to an extra possession for the Pirates.
A lot of the things that he does on the floor for ECU is not going to show up on the stat sheet.
And that is wrong. Why is that?
I know.
We need stats for that.
We need stats for other stats. Where's the stats that actually matter?
I need advanced stats.
Stats to consider.
Luigi DeBeau has his hand on every ball, and I want to know how many extra possessions that leads to, how many points that leads to for East Carolina, how many rebounds Brandon Johnson and R.J. Felton and these guys are getting. Benjamin Baela, 8 rebounds. How many of those were tips by Luigi DeBeau? I need that stat.
I bet you if you asked Coach Schwartz, he would probably have the answer.
Chandler, next game.
How many tips does Luigi DeBeau have, Coach?
What was your
great question?
What was your exact question to Schwartz?
It was just I said he doesn't have any. He didn't have any points tonight. He did have 7 boards, but he brings a lot of energy to the floor every time he's on, and he brings a lot of spark, doesn't he? And he answered the question.
So you were kind of getting to that. Like this would be more specific.
Yeah.
You were
so
setting
next game, say, Coach, the Luigi DeBeau's tips. Here's a tip. I want you to talk about those tips. Tell me about his tips. I mean, the guy is a tip machine.
He's a tipper.
He's a great tipper. He's the anti.
He tips 50%.
The anti-Scottie Pippen. No tipping Pippen. He tips. Luigi. And you can't say realistically a negative thing about Luigi DeBeau. If you don't think he's a good player, that's fine. But when somebody works as hard as they possibly can and maximizes their potential, their ability. Like, what do you have to complain about at that point?
Yeah.
He does. How many times is he on the floor? How many times is he on the floor saving the ball? How many times is he on the floor not saving the ball because he's smart enough to know it did not go off East Carolina? He dives. He's on the floor, but he watches the ball roll out of bounds.
He stops himself. He literally stops his momentum.
The idiot referees who were out there last night give the ball to Tulsa. Not so fast, my friend. Let's go to the tape because you missed another one. First of all, if Luigi DeBoe's not going after the ball, you should just know that it's ECU's ball. You don't even need to look at the tape. They waste time. They look at the tape. They say, this DeBoe fella, he's on the floor not going after the ball. That's because it went off Tulsa. Boom.
He's a smart
Case
fella.
solved.
Good tipper, smart fella. And look, we love Cy Seymour. We love him. It's been a while since we talked to him.
Been a while.
But we've got to go back to when he said, I feel like ever since he said that the referees this year have gotten better, they have been awful. They have been just unbelievably awful.
My New Year's resolution was to not curse at officials inside Minji's. I am glad to say
no cursing.
I have not done that the entire 2023 so far.
Yelling, yes. Cursing, no.
I've cursed via social media about them.
Yes, you have.
But I've not yelled any curse words at officials in 2023. We had a ref you suck chant by the students last night before the ball was tipped.
Yep. That has to be a record.
How did they say that ball didn't hit the rim on the shot clock violation?
I don't know.
I watched that, and I can tell you the trajectory of the ball.
That's
not
what
only
we said.
It moves to the left, but you can see the ball spins in a different direction.
How many more examples of evidence do you need? Did
the
they
overhead shot
Did
was
they
the
say
best
he didn't
one.
get the shot off in time?
That's what they were saying, but
Because that's different. If they said that,
no,
all right, fine.
because they said that the shot wasn't that he didn't get the shot off in time. That it was a shot clock violation, which was also incorrect, but because there was 3 seconds left on the shot clock when the ball hit the rim.
Well,
so it didn't make any sense.
Guess who got robbed of a rebound and an assist?
Luigi, because he was the one that grabbed the rebound and then handed it off for the wide open layup, which none of it counted, and it still stumps me to this moment.
Brad said a few cuss words for me last night. He says, "Thank you, Brad, and I would appreciate if the rest of you in Minji, since I'm not cursing, I need you to curse at the officials double now to make up for my end."
Alex on Facebook says, and I guess he used to work in stats with ECU basketball. He says, we used to track deflections back in the day. Why is that not a stat now? Where's the deflection stats?
Cool, Alex. I used to not be as fat as I am now. Who cares about back in the day? Are you watching the games, Alex? Well, how about track it from home? Did I go too hard on Alex there?
Take it a little easy.
All right.
Second chance points last night for the Pirates, 17. How much of the 17 points that we got on second chance opportunities do you give credit to Luigi DeBoe? We don't know.
It'd be cool.
We don't know.
If Alex would kept up with that during the game.
Come on, Alex.
Once a Pirate, always a Pirate, right?
Once a Pirate statistician, always a Pirate statistician.
Get a job.
Go to hell.
Statistician.
A statistician is
Not a
a
statistician.
person that keeps a stat that you can look at. All right. Eric M. says, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, boy. What can he mean by that?
While we're talking about officials and boom, 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 Chandler got some video, which, by the way, I did not consent to, and you will be hearing from my lawyers. Don't be taping me during a game.
I'm sorry.
That
turned out to be a really good content.
Is that even legal for you to do what you did last night?
No, I'm the video bandit. I'm the unsolicited video bandit.
You are videoing me. Shirley, hit the tape. Here's me.
You are terrible! And stop playing that song!
So that was video of me telling the refs that they're terrible. And then you hear a little rumbling in the background. And can you hit it again, Shirley? Listen to the song if you can hear it faintly in the background here.
You are
I mean, it's
boom, boom, boom.
Let me hear you say wayo.
Yeah, it's wayo. I thought it was.
Boom, let me say wayo.
It's wayo. I put heyo and then I Googled it and it is wayo. I don't know what wayo is. For some reason,
it's
weird. It's happened all year.
It's strange.
They're trying to make this a thing inside of Minji's Coliseum.
Boom, boom, let me say wayo.
No, the guy in the song is giving you a command. He's asking you to say wayo.
Boom, boom, let me say wayo.
Nobody says it. Nobody reacts to it. I've been sick of it all year.
I never even noticed it until last night. You said something. You were like, why do they play that?
You've
song
never noticed it?
I mean,
it's all I can hear when I lay my head on the pillow at night.
Yeah. And so when you mentioned it, I was like, oh my God, they do play it, but they play it at the most random times of the basketball game. It could be ball out on East Carolina, hurricane ball.
No.
Shooting 2 for Hurricanes. Johnny Smith.
Oh, my God. I don't know. It's not a thing. I don't know why they're trying to make it a thing. I don't know why they thought that could be our thing. But you know those things that are like, it's inconsequential. It's not a huge deal. It's not going to kill me. It shouldn't affect my life. But it does. You know those little things that just kind of get to you and you're sick of them? This is one of those things for me. And as I'm yelling at a ref last night, you are terrible. They play that song. So if you see that video that Chandler illegally took of me and Minji's last night, you'll see I'm looking in a direction saying you are terrible and I'm pointing. And then they hit that song. I then shift my body a little bit, and then now I'm pointing at somebody else saying, stop playing that song.
And it was an aggressive point.
I'm like the angry old man up there. Trying to enjoy my basketball at Minji's, which is a tough task on its own. This is not an easy life.
Yeah.
It is not the easiest thing in the world to go to an East Carolina basketball game and enjoy yourself for 2 hours. They make it tough on you. But last night, the Pirates came from behind, down by as much as 8 at one point, I think, 7 at least. They come back, get the win. All I hear is boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say, wayo. And a bunch of students leaving to go put on Hawaiian shirts. Can we do something about that too? This is not who I want to be. I don't want to be the complain after a win.
I don't
guy.
want to either.
Yeah.
But man, there is some. I'm not even,
Chandler
I'm not
at
even.
some point might go on a rant. He's not happy with some things inside of Minji's during basketball games. Like this is my one thing. Last night they didn't cut the lights off during the intros.
Now I did see Justin Baer comment on some Twitter posts last night that there was malfunction. There was a malfunction with the.
Oh, what now? What did he say that was?
The malfunction.
Did he struggle with that word as much as you just did?
No.
Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you try to say malfunction.
But there was a malfunction with a button, and they were afraid that if they turned the lights off,
we'd have
that there would be no lights to be turned back on.
At a bio situation where the lights go off and don't come back on.
Because I told former intern Pete last night, who gives us the stats after the game in the press conference room. I said I've heard of lights not being able to come on. I've never heard of lights not being able to turn on.
It's so bright in here. Turn these lights off. We can't.
Turn them off.
Eric says, boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say, wayo. The lyrics go from G-rated to X-rated quick. See, now I got to take a look at what these lyrics are. And we're feeding these pirate kids out here. Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say, wayo. This is, now hear this. This is the Out Here brothers back in the room ready to rock the world with the boom. So I hope you can stand the vibration because we about to rock the entire nation. All right, here we go.
Oh, boy.
Girl, your booty is so round, I just want to play around. First of all, that's not a rhyme. You can't rhyme round with around.
No, yeah.
Terrible. Terrible writing. Let me take you one more time. I won't stop until you're mine.
You are terrible!
Put your arms around me, girl, and your kisses on my face. Uh-oh. Ooh. Oh, my God.
Oh, boy. I need to look these up myself.
Whoa. Good thing we're only playing that one little part. It gets bad. Remember that intern we were talking about a moment ago? What's his name?
Feet.
What's his real name?
Peter Foot.
Peter Foot?
What's his first name?
Pete. Oh, my God.
That word is in the song.
Oh.
And they're not talking about Peter Foot, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
They are not talking about our former Pirate Radio
Maybe
intern.
that's why they play it all the time, because the like music operator sits beside him and goes,
Mike P.
Peter, this is for you.
Mike P. says, boom, 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 pay your light bill. John Moody, you son of a... John says, I always say wayo back. John, you are part of the...
You are terrible!
Get a job. Go to hell. Hey, John Moody, go to hell.
Go to hell! Get a job!
You say wayo back? You know what? You probably just said it right now, didn't you? I did not take you as that kind of person. Man, you know when you, like Deshaun Watson, I held him in such high regard. John, you're on the Deshaun Watson list now. That's not a list you want to be on, my friend. Did I say my friend? My former friend.
This song this song actually needs to be canceled.
Shirley, next time I'm in Minji's and they play Boom Boom Boom, here's my response.
Go to hell!
Chandler, will you join me in that?
Absolutely. I just need to take
moron of the month.
Just need to take my media pass off first.
Boom, boom, boom. Let me say, hey, oh.
Go to hell!
Go to hell.
The moron of the month.
Josh says you should call
Juan McMillan.
Juan McMillan. Coach, what do you think about this song?
Boom, boom, boom.
No shark. No shark.
Not a
in it at all.
shock. Not a shock song.
This is a catfish song if I've ever heard one. Josh says you should call this segment Get Off My Lawn. I know. I hate to be that guy.
Go to hell!
Michael says, John Moody keeps saying wayo. Please stop playing it. Thank you, Michael.
That's why they keep playing it, because
is they telling us to stop playing it? We'll never stop playing it. Now it's our song. We're making it ours, so it can't be theirs anymore. Oh, man. Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say wayo.
You are terrible! Go to hell!
John?
Get a job! Go to hell!
I've turned into Tommy Tuberville.
Yes, you have.
Oh, my goodness. John says something I'm very scared of, and I think this is why I'm being so combative about this. He says, y'all are going to like it, too, by the end of the show. I'm scared that I'm going to hate it so much, play it so much, that by the end of the show, it might be my favorite song. And I'm going to be one of those suckers, like John Moody, saying wayo back to him at the next home game on Sunday against Wichita State.
Do not fall into that trap.
I don't want to,
That's
man.
what they want you to do.
I'm easily manipulated.
This is what the game day operations people want you to do. They want you to fall into this trap.
The wayo trap. And by the end of the show, I'm going to read the lyrics.
I've read it. I don't think they should play it anymore. I mean, that is...
Go to hell!
It goes from 0 to 100 real quick.
100. Chad says, well, now I'm getting fired for looking up the lyrics at work. Yeah, this is not suitable for work, folks. Not suitable at all. Robert says, Senator Clip Tuberville. Go to hell, Robert.
Go to hell. Get a job.
Mike P says, can you require Patrick Mason to say wayo after everything he says today? Patrick, how was media day? Oh, it was great. I enjoyed talking to Cliff Godwin. Wayo.
I love that song. It's a fun song.
Wayo.
Wayo.
Take a break, Shirley Rhodes.
Boom, boom.
Time to take a break now. Break now.
You are terrible.
That was funny, but you will hear from my attorneys, Chandler.
Bring it on.
I got a hungry lawyer that'll fight the case. Randolph said...
Go to hell.
No, he didn't say that.
No. Randolph, be nice.
He said, hope to see y'all at AJ's tonight, enjoying an adult beverage there.
Come on.
Sports trivia, 8 o'clock. Come on out after ECU women's hoops. Randolph also said, boom, boom, boom. Dax just threw another pick recorded by the 49ers. Hey-oh. When we return, we will visit with the voice, Jeff Charles. Josh Thomas says, I haven't heard it once in Minji's. I'm scared the next game I won't be able to unhear it. Good. If I have to hear it, everybody has to hear it. I can't believe that he hasn't heard it.
The moron of the month.
Now that's a little harsh. Now that ain't edge.
That ain't edge.
We'll be back with you on Pirate Radio Live with Jeff Charles after this.
This isn't your regular cola, so this isn't your regular cola ad. No beach parties or family barbecues here, just Nitro Pepsi, the first cola ever infused with nitrogen. So forget everything you thought you knew about soda, because that nitrogen gives us a whole new experience. Think an infusion of smaller bubbles for a cola that's got a lighter, smoother texture. And don't get me started on the pour. You don't pour this like any other cola. We're talking turn the can completely upside down and watch as those bubbles cascade into the glass to create a frothy, luxurious foam topping. Can your cola do that? I didn't think so. Unless you've got your own Nitro Pepsi, in which case, cheers to your great taste. Because you already know that the only thing better than the pour is the unapologetic cola taste. What else is there to say? From the creamy foam to the smooth texture to its unbelievably delicious flavor, this is cola like you've never had it before. Time to bring your taste buds to the next frontier. Nitro Pepsi. Smooth, creamy, delicious.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates. The doors open at noon, 7 days a week. And the Buck has live music every night, along with football. Monday is open mic night, the first Monday of each month. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, it's acoustic night. Thursday, it's the dance party with DJ Kid Scene and live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for information and schedule of events. This season, party like a pirate at the Buck. When it comes to hauling dirt, asphalt, or stone, you can trust the pros at First and Goal Hauling Incorporated. They have a fleet of dump trucks ready to get the job done. And best of all, it's owned and operated by ECU football alum Dakota Marshall. When you have a big job and you need it done right, count on First and Goal Hauling, where it's a touchdown every time. Keep up with Dakota Marshall and First and Goal Hauling by following them on Facebook today.
This is Holt Nailers. I've been eating at Parker's Barbecue since I was a kid. Now, all these years later, I still love to eat at Parker's. In fact, I love it so much, I bring my entire offensive line with me. They protect me, and I look out for them with great food from Parker's Barbecue. So whether you bring the team like me, or just your friends and family, the awesome barbecue, chicken, and seafood at Parker's is a win every time. Parker's Barbecue, where they always treat you like family.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank that's in your corner when you need them. This is Chris Richards from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Ashley Capps, Bonner Latham, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business, come and see one of our experienced team members at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Member FDIC.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit greenvilleautoworld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
Pirate Radio.
You know, I think this is a pretty blue-collar, tough, hard-nosed fan base, and that's where our teams are going to be.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hemp Garden is your premium CBD retailer in Eastern North Carolina. Find yourself having anxiety or in need of extra sleep support? Hemp Garden has a variety of Delta 8 and Delta 9 products that can assist with those issues. If you're unable to stop by the store, don't worry. Give them a call today at 413-6100 for a consultation, and they'll ship right to your door. Hemp Garden, located at 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Cliff.
All righty. Fun segment 1. Redbeard on Twitter said, wait, John Moody says wayo, but hates living on a prayer? Hashtag go to hell. Thank you, Redbeard, for that.
Go to hell!
Chip on Facebook says, boom, boom, boom. Georgia just scored another touchdown. So I guess we've made that a thing, just like they're trying to in Minji's Coliseum. Let's make winning a thing. It was fun to hear Jeff Charles paint one purple last night. For the first time in a while, he joins us on the Pitt Electric Live line, coming off a Pirate victory last night in hoops over Tulsa. Jeff, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Clip, and you're right. It was a lot of fun, and it was a long time, too. The last time the Pirates had won was December 31st. That was New Year's Eve in Wichita, Kansas. So the Pirates were 0 for January, and they were 0 for 2023. So it had been a 5-game losing streak, and it was really good to see the guys play well last night. And what was really encouraging last night, Clip, is that the Pirates shot 50% from the field. It's been a while since that has happened. So that was good. And then when you have Brandon Johnson get 24, that equals his career high. He had 24 against Mercer earlier this year. R.J. Felton had 23. That's the 4th 20-point game for R.J. this year. When you get that kind of production from those two guys, and then Biela came in and did a really nice job. I think everybody's been waiting for him and for the light bulb to turn on. It did last night, and he had 3 threes and had 11 points, made a nice contribution off the bench as well. So it was a good win. These conference wins, as you well know, Cliff, these conference wins are very, very difficult to get. And anytime you get one, you need to celebrate a little bit.
Jeff Charles joining us. You're right, Jeff, and you said it after the game. You said it to Mike Schwartz as well. A lot of heroes for the Pirates last night in the win. I want to highlight some of those. And R.J. Felton made 10 field goals last night. And he's had some games where he's had 20-point games and hasn't made that many field goals because he's hit from behind the three-point line. Last night, just 1 of 5, was struggling from the outside. So what did he do, Jeff? He got in the paint. For a while, his shot chart, the made shots, was just a blob right around the basket. But also, if you don't like the threes, if you like the old school kind of basketball, you like RJ last night because he was getting to the rim and hitting that mid-range jump shot, Jeff. He perfected that last night. Really liked his offensive game when his three-point shot wasn't falling last night.
And there was a reason that he did that last night, Cliff. It's because there was a new wrinkle in the Pirate offense that Coach Schwartz put in. And as you saw watching the game last night at Minji's, he was posting up like right behind the free throw line, right at the top of the key. and the Pirates were running a lot of isolation plays for him from that point. That's a new wrinkle. We have not seen that this year. And they were coming down, getting RJ the ball in that position, and he was able to take the ball into the paint or sometimes get it all the way to the rim. So that's something I'm sure Wichita State has taken a look at as they get ready to take on the Pirates on Sunday, because we've not seen that. Also, another change last night, maybe not quite that drastic, but the Pirates played a little more zone last night. Now, we saw the zone a couple of games ago, and that's been a new wrinkle as well, but because of some of the shortages in personnel and some of the things the Pirates are going through in that area, the zone has been effective, and they went to it again last night. It's always a good, I think, to have a zone defense in your back pocket. I know so many of these coaches are man-to-man guys, but, it just throws another wrinkle in there that the opposition has to get ready for, and you've seen it so many times, Clip, in basketball games you've watched over the years. All of a sudden, the team's playing man-to-man, possession after possession, and then a team goes out there and throws the zone up, and then you just see kind of like deer in the headlights from the opposition. They're like, oh, my goodness, what are we going to do now? How are we going to approach the zone? Where's the ball going to go? Who's going to move here? Who's going to move there? You always see that at least the first possession or two when a team goes to the zone. So I think it's been real effective, and, of course, Coach Schwartz is a man-to-man guy, but he knows that the zone can be effective at times, and they've been able to get some good mileage out of it.
A couple other guys to highlight from last night, Jeff, and guys that didn't make a field goal. Luigi DeBow and Jaden Walker combined to go 0 for 5 from the floor. Jaden did make his free throws, especially down the stretch, 4 for 4 from the line. But, man, Jaden Walker was playing some lockdown defense last night. In the second half, late in the game, Tulsa, struggled just to kind of get their offense going with, 10, 15 seconds on the shot clock. He was really guarding their guards well. And then Luigi DeBow, we talked about him segment 1, but 7 rebounds last night. I want somebody there to keep up with the stat, Jeff, on just how many times he gets his hand on a ball and creates an extra possession for East Carolina or saves it. He does so many things that are not kept up with the stats. And he just maximizes his ability, his potential every time he's out on the court with his hustle, but just getting his hands on the ball. I mean, just kind of the little things that don't show up. But, man, he's huge for ECU's success here, especially last night in the win.
Yeah, he really was, and he plays so hard. He plays with his heart and soul every time he's out there, as you well know, Clip. And it's good to see him getting some more playing time. He played 22 minutes at Temple last week, and that's a high water mark for him this year. And he played extended minutes again last night, and he makes a difference when he's out there. Like we've always said, you can't coach 7 feet, and he is a legitimate 7-footer who makes things happen. And he did a really good job again, even though it doesn't show up that much in the stat sheet. And you're right about Jaden Walker, too, because oftentimes he was matched up with Anthony Pritchard, who's a really good guard at Tulsa, a guy who can really get in the paint and really get to the rim. And Jaden was in his grill most of the night, especially in the second half. I thought he did a terrific job. And Jaden also is not a very good free throw shooter, 57% coming into the game last night. But when he had to make them late, he made 4 in a row. And so he made his contribution, too. So, yeah, there were a lot of heroes last night. A lot of guys came through and played well. And now let's see if the Pirates can carry that over to Sunday. Wichita State is in town. That is a 12 noon Sunday game. Very odd, but it's on television, so it's a 12 noon game on Sunday. And as I just mentioned, the Pirates went out to Wichita and won that game on December 31st. Now, in that game, Craig Porter Jr., who is the best player at Wichita, he was coming off an ankle injury, and he did play against the Pirates, but he only played a few minutes, and he was just not himself, you could tell, when he was out there. Well, he's back now. He's healthy, and he's doing a really good job for them, and he's a very athletic guard the Pirates will have to match up with in the game on Sunday. But, hey, they beat Wichita in Wichita, and maybe they can get him again at home.
In that game as well, Javon Small had 14 points to 6 assists for East Carolina, and they'll be without those numbers coming up when they take on the Shockers on Sunday, Jeff. And speaking of Javon, actually got a little bit of a timetable post-game from Mike Schwartz last night, saying he'd miss another 3 to 4 weeks. So I guess if you want to look at that from a positive standpoint, at least maybe you'll see Javon before the end of the year. That is positive news. Also, update on Winston Tabbs. Mike Schwartz said he has now away from the team, focusing on his health, his future. So we're not going to see any more of Winston Tabbs. We got some updates from Coach Schwartz on those guards after the game last night, boys.
Yeah, we sure did, and Winston has worked so hard to get back. He had the damaged knees, as we know, when he came in here from Boston College, and I really feel for the young man because he's worked, again, so hard. And we were encouraged. The one game he had it in Florida back at the Gulf Coast Showcase, Cliff, you may remember he had a really good game down there. He had 14 points, and I thought, well, maybe he's turning the corner, and maybe he's going to be a contributor this year. But, again, the knees just aren't there, and I know he's frustrated with it. When you're an athlete at this level and you've been able to do things like he was able to do at Boston College, I mean, his last year there before he got hurt, he was averaging 13 points a game in the ACC. And then, you know, you've been at that level and you've been a really good player, and then you go out there now after a couple of knee injuries, and it's just not the same. And, again, I feel for him. I really thought that, again, he was going to come back and be a contributor because we had him on our Star of the Game on the network after that game he had in Florida. He had a big smile on his face. And to Winston, you know, we're really proud of you. We know how hard you've worked. And I think at that point he thought he was turning the corner, but it just hasn't worked out. So I'm not really sure what his future is. I believe Winston has one more year of eligibility remaining. So maybe he can take a little time off here and do whatever he can do to rehab the knees and maybe come back and play next year and have a good final season in his last year in college. So, yeah, it was disappointing to hear Coach say that yesterday for Winston. And then, of course, you mentioned Javon. I was really concerned really just a couple of days ago whether or not Javon was going to play anymore this year. I don't think we still know if he will or not. But I think there is a possibility. I think the door is still cracked just a bit. He may be able to come back the 1st of March, last week of February, hopefully. But, you know, when this happens with a basketball team, Cliff, now you see guys like Caleb LeCount. We haven't mentioned Caleb, and he played a really good first half last night.
Yeah.
He ended up with 8 points.
He got to the basket, Jeff, or amongst the trees. He had at least 3 layups last night.
And sometimes, you know, you say, like, oh, my goodness, he's not going to finish. And a lot of times he doesn't finish, Cliff. But sometimes he does, too. And he's a little guy, you know, I know he's listed at 5'7", but he's not 5'7". And he's able to finish in there every now and then. The liability, of course, is on defense. And you can see it as soon as he is in the game. They try and post him up. And what happens then, he needs help. And so here comes the double, and the guy with the ball then dumps the ball off to somebody else because that guy's had to leave his man. So, you know, he has his liabilities because he is small, but I'll tell you, he's a scrapper. He made a lot of winning plays last night. He had a good ball game. He had 8 points. And so now my point is that guys start filling roles that they weren't filling before, and so then you kind of develop another kind of chemistry out on the floor with your team. And so Caleb's starting, and Jaden Walker's playing a lot now at the point as well, and even R.J. Felton's played there a little bit. So all of a sudden now you're seeing the team take on a little bit of a different direction and a little bit of a different identity.
Jeff Charles joining us. Will be on the call on Sunday as the Pirates take on Wichita State. Looking at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Buck. Wichita State has a big one tonight at home against Tulane. That should be a good one at 9 o'clock on ESPNU. Jeff, Houston is at UCF tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN+. Chandler and I were talking last week about, you know, will Houston lose an American game this season? We both lean toward yes, and I threw out a couple of potential landmines at Tulane last week for Houston. Well, they won that game by 20. I said maybe tonight against UCF. I did not say anything about the game sandwiched in between those, and that was the Temple Owls knocking off Houston. And you've had a chance to see Temple twice now. That was one of the kind of eye-opening results from the weekend. The other was Tulsa knocking off Tulane. That Tulsa team we saw last night was able to beat Tulane over the weekend. But how about Houston going down to Temple last weekend, Jeff? It's kind of, once again, another example of every night you got to bring it here in this league.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Somebody could have made a lot of money if they'd have bet on Temple last week, because I don't think anybody thought that they were going to win that game. But they are a very tough team to defend, Clip, and you've seen them on television. You've seen them against the Pirates. And when you have two guys who can create their own shot, in Damian Dunn and also Khalif Battle. I mean, it's tough. I mean, they spread you out, and those guys can do two things. They can shoot threes and make threes. They both have good mid-range games. They both can get into the paint. They both can get to the rim. And then what's really important to note about those two guys is they're great free throw shooters. So they're going to get fouled a lot going to the basket, and they're both about 85, 86%. And so you foul those guys, they go to the line, and they make free throws. Damian Dunn, in some games this year, he's just lived at the free throw line. And even when they get down, 7, 8, 10 points, and Michael Perry, my broadcast partner, makes this point a lot on the air. He says, what you need to do when you get down double figures like that is give the ball to a guy who can get to the paint, and he's going to get fouled, and then you can chip away with a clock stop and start to catch up making free throws. Well, that's what Temple does. And then they've got enough athleticism on the back line that can cause people some problems as well. And their point guard now in his second year, Miller, and he does a pretty good job running the show for them. So they're a tough out. I wouldn't want to play them in a tournament game. They're kind of a team in the tournament situation, Clip, that would be difficult to beat. And it'll be interesting to see if they can continue to win games now. They're just like so many other teams around the country. They lost a bunch of guys from last year, and they lost some really good players who were playing in high Major 1 programs. And so going into the year, I was kind of like, I don't know if Temple's going to be very good or not, but they've got those two guys, and then they've brought in some other players, and then they had some other experienced guys who maybe didn't play the same roles they're playing this year that came back. They're not a real deep team. They only go about 7 or 8 deep, but the guys they have out there are pretty good, and they can give a lot of people trouble.
Yeah, and a great example of, and I fall into this trap every year in a lot of different sports, that but in college basketball, your record in November and December is not maybe indicative of what the team will look like by March. And Temple, Jeff, has 12 wins, half of those coming in the American. Now, they only had 6 wins non-conference. They are 6-2 in league play. They'll take on South Florida tonight, 3 games in the AAC, including Houston at UCF. And if you want to keep an eye on the Shockers, Wichita State hosting Tulane at 9 o'clock. Jeff, appreciate your time. Real quick before we wrap it up, you got Bengals against the hobbled Patrick Mahomes, and also great showdown in the NFC between the Niners and Eagles. Who do you think meets up in the Super Bowl?
Oh, boy, I'll go with the 49ers, and I know I'm thinking with my heart a little bit here, Clip, but I'll go with the Bengals. I do really think the Bengals can win that game.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the Midwest against the West Coast.
All right, there you go. The Voices picks here on Pirate Radio Live. Jeff, thanks for joining us today, and have a great call on Sunday.
Sounds great, Clip. And if I can mention one other thing.
Sure.
I mentioned this on our Sportscast today. I don't know if you mentioned it on your show today or not, but congratulations to Rosie Thompson. She is going into the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame. We just got that word last night. And Rosie's the greatest women's basketball player ever at ECU, and that's a great honor for her. She'll join a number of other folks who have been athletes at ECU in the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame. I think it's either in April or May. They're going to have the banquet in Raleigh like they do every year. But really happy for Rosie, and she spent her whole career at ECU as a player and, of course, a student athlete, and then she was a coach. She was the head women's coach, and then spent many, many years in the athletic administration at ECU. She retired just a few years ago, but really happy for Rosie. She's an outstanding lady, and it's great to see her get that recognition.
We did mention that yesterday, Jeff, and that's awesome. And speaking of women's hoops, 14-6 overall, 5-2 in conference play, 9-2 at home. They play Memphis at 6 o'clock, and starting to get a little buzz, Jeff. This is the best the women's team has done in a while. Definitely Kim McNeil's best team since she's been here, and something that folks are getting a little bit excited about.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, they've worked hard, and I saw them practice yesterday. They were still out there on the floor before ECU's game, the men's game last night, and we get there early, and they were still practicing. And, boy, they seemed like they had a lot of spirit, a lot of enthusiasm. So good for the ladies' team. We hope they keep winning.
No doubt about it. Jeff, thanks for joining us. We'll talk again next week.
Okay, Clip, sounds great.
There is the voice, Jeff Charles, joining us on the Pitt Electric Live line. Let's take a timeout, come back, wrap up hour number 1 here on Pirate Radio Live. A big announcement regarding Clip's Don't Overthink It pick of the day when we return after this.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers. Jeff Stein, our special guest from Brown & Wood. Hey, Jeff, electric cars are coming. What's that mean for Brown & Wood customers?
For the customers, like it or not, EV is coming. We've installed 5 electric vehicle chargers here at the dealership. We have the all-new Cadillac Lyriq coming at 1st of 2024, and we've just seen the first reservation for the new Sierra EV.
People are interested in electric vehicles. How can they get up with you?
They can visit us at brownandwood.net or 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear ENC.com is your one-stop shop for all promotional products for your business. With over 1 million items to shop from, University Sportswear ENC.com offers high-quality products at prices to fit any budget. Visit University Sportswear ENC.com for contact information and to get shopping. University Sportswear ENC.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear
Warren's Hot Dogs?
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
It's bow time. You've probably heard folks say, don't call it a comeback. But at Bojangles, we don't like to beat around the bush. So when the sizzling, savory pork chop griller's back in all its tender, marinated chili lime glory, and you can get a pork chop griller combo for just $4.59, go ahead, call it a comeback. Get a legendary pork chop griller combo for just $4.59, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington is celebrating 40 years in business. That means big savings for you on your favorite men's and women's clothing and accessories. As you would expect, Rhonda has slashed prices 40% on select merchandise. Outerwear, slacks, assorted sportswear, and shoes for the men. Dresses, sweaters, blouses, and outerwear for the ladies. Celebrate 40 years with us and save 40% while it lasts. We're here because of you, and we thank you, our friends and customers at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington.
Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio, perfect for some outdoor dining. There's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with our very own Clip Rock on Wednesday nights. AJ's has live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover, and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's day. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All righty. Looking at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Dubuck. Good one tonight in the Big East, tipping off at 6:30. It'll be Xavier at UConn. As I mentioned, Houston, number 3 in the country, will be at UCF at 7 o'clock. Number 4, Tennessee, will host Georgia. Providence is at home against Butler. Mississippi State on the road at Alabama at 9. And Steve Rockefort and his Texas A&M Aggies didn't get off to a great start to the season, but they're 5-1 in the SEC. They have a big one on the road tonight at Auburn. And that one is at 9 o'clock. Auburn, the number 15 ranked team in the country. Last night in college basketball, North Carolina defeated Syracuse, but they did not defeat them by enough to cover, making my don't overthink it pick it of the. In fact, that was. Do you remember, Chandler? Was it 4.5 or 5.5?
I can't remember exactly what it was.
It was either 4.5 or 5.5, and they won by 4. So that one's tough, GF. But Chandler, that puts me at 4-4, and I've been doing this a long time. You got to go all the way back to last week when I started this. And when you're in this business, this pick business, it's a tough business. Sometimes you like to go out on top. I think the best way for me to go out is 500, even Steven.
You're saying this is it?
I'm retiring the don't overthink it pick of the night. Yeah, this is it.
After all the work you put in,
I mean,
for all this time?
BST, blood, sweat, and tears have been put into this thing, but I got to hang it up.
You're kidding.
Now, I could always come back and start a new pick of the night with a different name, which I'll definitely do. In fact, I might start that today in hour 3.
I mean, there was highs and there was lows, but
yeah.
I mean, I just remember the good times, man. You went on a hot streak to start.
No, I didn't. I lost the first 2.
Oh, well.
Then I won 4 in a row.
Okay, then you won 4 in a row, but it's just been, man, what a great week it's been.
What's the phrase? Don't be sad it's over, be
happy that it happened.
Something to that effect.
Glad that it happened.
Yeah. So
I'm glad that it happened.
The don't overthink it pick of the night is over. But again, by the end of this show, there might be a new title. I'm just retiring this particular segment. That segment will never die.
And I will die on that hill. Man, well, congratulations on a good career with that segment.
Is it good? Is 4-4 good? It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Anything not losing is bad.
In the gambling world, if you can at least go 500 and break even,
yeah, we had fun.
You're doing great.
We enjoyed it.
It was a great time. But now stay tuned for tournament time.
I'm sorry, that's not. Yeah, that's the song I was looking for.
We could be going down the old well. Could it be
you know
Hugh? Or could it be tough as nails Arkansas? We shall see.
Yeah. Both of those teams winning last night, by the way. Miami won by 23 points over Florida State last night.
Wow.
So they put it on.
All about the U.
We like the U in postseason,
yes,
and we like Pig Suey. And you know who else we like? We like the Pirates making a run this year in the American tournament.
Let's do it.
They won last night. Ezra had 0 points and didn't do anything. If they can get him back going... Nah, I'm trying to talk myself into something here.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I was glad to see him win last night, though. It's fun. Winning is fun, man.
I love to see the Pirates actually shooting basketball pretty darn well. They shot, like Jeff Charles said, 50% from the field.
Yeah.
A lot better than what it has been in the past. I mean, the Pirates have struggled shooting the basketball all year long, but last night it wasn't a problem.
And getting to the rack.
Yeah.
RJ getting to the rack. Brandon Johnson had a lot of dunks. Caleb account 3 layups at the rim.
And
good to see.
Complimentary basketball, too, with some great passes as well, sharing the basketball all night long.
We love the play. Got me out of my seat when Caleb got the steal and the dish.
Oh, yeah.
For the deuce.
That was nice.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That was nice. Oh, by the way, and a little a nugget, Igoe, who's going to join us at 5 o'clock, or in the third hour, I should say.
Have some awareness.
Yeah, sorry. He did ask Mike Schwartz last night of the status of Javon Small, and it looks like he will be out for at least 4 weeks. 4 to 5 weeks, Javon Small will be out. So
was it 4 to? Okay. Well, I mentioned that with Jeff Charles, which you were not paying attention to that interview, which that's fine. You were doing other things.
I'm just saying for people that are just now tuning in.
By the way, Chandler, something there. Shirley, take us to break. I thought about this. I want to do a segment entirely for our Encore listeners. Like, just speak as if it's in the morning. So next segment, when we come back, it's going to be just for our morning listeners.
Okay.
So it's going to be...
Good morning!
What time is it going to be, Shirley? An hour or two?
8 a.m.
It's going to be 8 a.m. when we return. We're going to welcome you to a bright new day, Thursday. And this one's for you guys. We ignore our morning listeners, but not when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
America's favorite light beer, Bud Light, is also the official beer of the ECU Pirates. When planning your fun times with family and friends, be sure to pick up some Bud Light at your favorite retailer. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun. Because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Always have fun, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Happy New Year. This is Talbot Green, and I'm excited to announce our new partnership with Integrity Home Mortgage. Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans, plus construction and lot loans. Our Integrity Home Mortgage team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir offer over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with superior customer service.
To get started, call me, Braxton Green, at 526-8260.
NMLS 28516, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Cuccinella, inviting you and your family to come by Cuccinella's Pizzeria and Italian Ice. Cuccinella's has been serving our special family recipe New York-style pizza since 1932. We think you'll taste the difference in just one bite. When you come in for a pie, don't forget to try our house-made Italian ice or gelato. We make small batches every day from scratch with all fresh ingredients.
Cuccinella's on Old Tar Road in Winterville and a new location coming soon to Uptown Greenville.
Great. It's 30 degrees in here. This is going to be a cold night.
No one's coming out this late.
I'm on firewood.
Dad! I'll put hot coals in our socks for bedtime. Mom!
Hi, I'm from Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Got an email about your heat being out?
That was me. I sent it from my phone.
I think your socks are on fire. Ah!
Call Delcor today to get a new system installed for less than $100 a month. Offer expires soon. Go to DelcorInc.com. Monthly fee based on new system financing is 9.9% APR for 120 months. Call Delcor for details.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low, low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Hey, Pirate Nation. This is Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty. I've been in Greenville over 25 years. I'm a proud graduate of ECU. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, then give me a call today and let me help make your real estate process fun and easy. I keep it simple and explain the process every step of the way. My goals are your goals. There are no long-term contracts, and you always deal with me from start to finish. The right home starts with the right agent. Call me, Scott Harris, at 347-1857. Go Pirates!
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Thinking about takeout tonight? Familia can make everything real easy for you with a great selection of Italian food and more. Visit familianc.com to see the full menu featuring pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts. Place your order online or call 689-6330 and Familia will have your order ready in their convenient drive-through window for pickup. Finish up a busy day with a great dinner for yourself or your family from Familia. Familia on Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, great to be here with you bright and early on this Thursday morning here on Pirate Radio Live. It is around 8 a.m. And Chandler, we're still kind of waking up here.
Yeah.
Since it's so early in the morning. Boy, great to
I didn't
see.
sleep good last night.
Great to see our old friend the sun back, though.
Hey, son, how you doing this morning?
It rained yesterday, some brutal rain during our Wednesday show. But this Thursday morning, that rain has gone away.
Happy Baby Friday.
Oh, come on. Are we doing that?
Sorry.
We almost made it.
I mean, it's Thursday. I just
We're
wanted
so close.
I wanted to break that out.
We almost made it to Friday.
You are terrible!
That's not nice. Can't believe that was 2 days ago now.
I know, right?
It's hard to believe. Is that song still a thing?
Yeah.
It still is. But yeah, coming up later on this afternoon on Pirate Radio Live, our live Thursday edition, Troy D will be here. We will be playing the sound game with Shirley Rhodes. Dad has tried to grab a controller and play with the kids. Mm-hmm. Troy wants to play. We're going to give him his own edition in hour number 1. So we're going to play the sound game in hour 1 and name that sound in hour 1 and hour 2. We're going to have a Troy D edition in hour 1 at 3 o'clock later this afternoon. Since, again, you're listening to our live Thursday morning edition of Pirate Radio Live.
Hello, morning people. How are y'all doing today?
Wake up!
Wake up, folks. Hey, if you're driving to work, have a great day at work. And when you're getting off of work and heading home, tune in later on this afternoon for Pirate Radio Live.
We're double dipping as we do every day. We're showing some love to our morning listeners, but we'll play Name That Sound. Josh Hawkins, former Pirate Corner, now in the XFL, going to join us on the show. The big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, and more coming up later on today. This is old news by this point, but I do want to hear some of Mike Schwartz. By the way, speaking of Minji's Coliseum on Tuesday night, a couple days ago, heard a lot of that. Also, Shirley, a man came up to me as I was sitting in section 213 before the game, and he said, "Hey, Clip, love listening to the show." He said, "But," I knew a but was coming. I was like,
He didn't show you his, did he?
No but from him. But, and I was like, what's the but, man? What's this but going to be?
Tell me the but.
But my son, not a fan. Doesn't like sports talk radio.
Up yours, kid.
Whoa! What would Tommy Tuberville say to that kid?
Go to hell!
What else would he say?
Go to hell! Get a job!
Hey, why is your son listening to talk radio? Why don't he get a job?
Get a job, kid.
First of all, how old is this kid? Do we know?
Old enough to have a job. Get one.
Judging by this gentleman, who I would say is maybe late 20s, early 30s perhaps. I'm going to put this kid at around 7 to 10 years old. Just a guess. Okay. I don't know. This guy might have been mid-20s. Kid could be even younger than that. Either way, he needs to get a job and contribute to society. We can all agree on that.
Well, of course.
Especially Senator Tubbs. Go to hell. Get a job. Why did I bring this up? Because he said his kid, while not a fan of sports talk radio, was a fan of Name That Sound. Says he can't get enough of it. So,
can't get enough.
Wanted to pass that along to you, Shirley. I'm for the daddies out there. Shirley's for the kids. Chandler?
What am I for?
For the mamas. Mamas!
Good morning, mamas.
How's all them moms doing out there?
How's all the mamas out there this morning, this fine Thursday morning?
Dropping the kids off at school?
Yeah.
Chandler, you be a good school security guy.
Appreciate that.
You're good with kids, and you're kind of winking at the mamas as they ride by.
Hey, little Johnny. Hey, have a good day at school. See you, Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was creepy. Speaking of looking after kids, we got to check on the hiring process going on at ECU right now, because who is manning the kids zone Tuesday night in Minges Coliseum? Former Pirate Radio intern Ian. What do you think of that?
Ian.
What do you think about that,
He's
Shirley
promoted,
Rose?
ain't he? You talk about just going up.
I have an important question. Go ahead.
Okay.
What is Brittany doing with her life?
Who? Chandler tells me at halftime, hey, former Pirate Radio intern's running the kids zone tonight. I'm like, what? What in the wide world of sports is going on? I walk up there. He is kicked back looking at his phone, probably looking at like Eagles fans acting horrible and being terriblehumans.com. And I look around, there's like 8 kids playing cornhole. They're firing at 100 miles per hour. He's not even paying attention to what's going on.
Come on, Ian.
I'm joking.
Get your head out of your ass.
He's doing a fine job. But
go to hell and quit your job.
The moron of the month.
But Ian, no, he was doing fine. Parents were having a blast. Kids were having an awesome time. They got the cornhole boards. And this kid, they were going back and forth sinking them. They were little kids. They were fired up. But good to see Ian last night, his Philadelphia Eagles in action on Pirate Radio this weekend. That was 2 days ago. Last night I was at Sports Trivia. That's right, Wednesday night.
Look.
Sometimes it's early in the morning. I forget what day it is.
Look, it happens.
I'm having a bad case.
Do not Dan Marino yourself and beat yourself up.
Because of Brian Greasy. He's the #1 rated quarterback, and there's a good reason why.
I was talking to
my man,
T-Bug.
Terrell Buckley last
He was
week
golfing.
in Miami. He was on a bye week, by the way, playing golf. He told me that defense is
Danny boy, calm down.
We need a glass table. That table blast he did, he tried to break the glass table. We need a glass table. Made for great sound effects. What are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about being in Minges Coliseum. Talk to the dude. He's got a kid. Boom, boom, boom. Chandler's for the moms. Talk to Ian. And we have circled back to Mike Schwartz. Let's hear a little bit of Mike Schwartz from last night. 2 nights ago. Tuesday night.
Respect for Coach Conkle and the Tulsa program. They've been playing really good basketball the last 4 games particularly, and I thought they did again tonight.
Do you really have great respect for Coach Conkle? I guess he does. I should take him at his word. He's not lying. But Coach Conkle, he looked like Steve Kerr. And by the way,
he did remind me a lot of Steve Kerr.
He didn't say anything negative about Greenville. It was the radio dude.
Yeah.
So you can give Conkle a break. But anyway, let's hear Mike Schwartz.
Great respect for Coach Conkle and the Tulsa program. They've been playing really good basketball the last 4 games particularly, and I thought they did again tonight. And just a really hard-fought game, and I'm glad we were able to, in the second half, do some things that allowed us to get a home victory.
Questions? Coach RJ was just getting to into the paint with ease at times in the second half. Did you guys like that matchup, or was it just kind of hit tonight?
No, I think you give RJ all the credit. I mean, RJ put the ball in the basket. I think over the last 3 to 4 days with that break and with losing Javon, then looking at our rotation, we've had to put some different things in offensively to try and control pace a little bit, try and control possessions, particularly late clock, try and control some possessions because it isn't just going to find Javon's hands naturally right now and play off it whether he gets a shot or creates something. So we did some things offensively, and we worked on some things to have RJ or Brandon or different guys in different positions, and in that high post was one of the areas that we worked on with RJ, and he did a great job with it.
Didn't Biella have one of his best games? Was it a matter of him just getting comfortable on the floor and getting acclimated to the D1 game? And what's your assessment on his game tonight?
Oh, I think you hit it on the head, and I think as much as we needed it, as proud as everybody is of Ben, the locker room and the coaches and the players are even happier for him because he has gone through it. He's been in some valleys where he's been struggling and offensively, and he's never wavered in terms of how hard he worked. He's kept a great attitude. And to see Ben play like he did today with a great confidence, shooting the basketball, he just looked good out there. He looked very comfortable handling the basketball. And, as big as anything was he's plus 15 on the plus minus, which is as big a stat as any. He led our team in the plus minus of plus 15, and he has 8 rebounds. And for him to bring 8, he's always defended and rebounded, but to put that with knocking in 3 threes, off screens and playing and moving the basketball, and kind of a subtle thing he did late was handling the basketball late versus some of the press and things like that. So really proud of Ben, and I think, hopefully he'll continue to grow as the season goes.
After such a dominant half from Bryant Silabangu, how did you slow him down in the second half?
Yeah, he's hard to slow down. I mean, he's one of the best post players in the league, scoring. He is the leading rebounder in the league, or one of the top. So you just emphasize it. I mean, we're not a big post double team. That's not what we are. We don't want to get in rotations. We want to try and rely on scouting report and physicality. Was disappointed with some of our physicality in the first half. He's going to score. It's just got to be a little bit harder, in our opinion. And if he does, you pat him on the back, and he did what he did. But you got to try and make him do it on our terms. And he was scoring both on our terms and his terms in the first half. And in the second half, I think our guys did a better job executing. And Luigi used his length, and and then obviously we played zone some, so zone helps you with that on the inside.
Defensively, it seemed like Jaden made a big difference in the second half. Just kind of what's that dynamic like? Maybe are a little more dynamic with Caleb running the point versus Jaden defensively.
Yeah, you hit it on the head, and that was the decision we made because Caleb was playing really good on offense. He really was. First play of the second half, they go to a post ISO and they post Caleb, they back him down, and they score on the first play of the second half. So we decided that obviously we didn't have a true point guard out on the floor offensively, but I give Jaden a ton of credit with what he did. I mean, he managed the game. He managed the game running our offense. He managed the game late clock, getting the ball to the guys we wanted to. A lot of times it was RJ getting it to him late clock. And he really did a very good job handling the press late game because they have very fast, athletic, strong guards between Griffin, Betson, Pritchard. I mean, those guys can come downhill on you on offense, and they cause a problem with the way they press and the way they can, they did. And Jaden did a really nice job with that. But you just said it. We decided that we needed to have a defensive lineup out there. And I thought Jaden, Ben, RJ, they really did a good job guarding on the perimeter for the majority of the second half.
You mentioned Lungi earlier. He didn't have any points. He did have 7 rebounds. But talk about the spark that he brings on the floor. He plays with so much energy, doesn't he?
Yeah, huge. And when he plays with energy and he plays with great physicality. And that's what you expect from a senior, and that's what we want to rub off on our other guys, whether it be freshmen, sophomores, whatever. We want it to rub off on them, understanding how physical this game is. You're not going to win in the American Conference not playing physical. And there's certain guys on the team that we challenge every day, including during the game, that if you don't play physical, it doesn't matter how good you look or if the ball goes in the basket. Not playing physical is not going to allow us to be a winning ball club. And Luigi, from that standpoint, does that every time he steps on the floor.
Can a win like this inject some confidence or just kind of show that things are working, after just, I guess, almost 3 weeks without a win? I mean, what does that do for you?
Yeah, I've been asked this a lot, how are the guys doing? What's the spirit of the team? We had our best 2 practices the last 2 days. So the competitiveness, the spirit, the energy of the team has not wavered. Is there obviously frustration and disappointment from losing and being on a spell that we've been on? Absolutely. But I would tell you the win, or if we hadn't come out on top today, we still would be saying we got to get better tomorrow. We got to get better for Sunday. We got to get better the next time we hit the court. So win or loss. Now, it feels good. I know it feels good to the guys, and the locker room feels a lot different after a win, but that's going to fade really quickly. And we're just going to have to get back to it and try and be better because we know what we got coming down the pipe, and we just have to get better.
Coach, is there any timetable with Javon yet? And also, we didn't see Winston on the bench tonight. Just what was his stuff?
Yeah, both things. I'll start with Javon. Javon will be out about 3 to 4 weeks minimum. So whether we get him back at the end of this season, we'll see. That's up in the air. We may be able to have him towards the latter part of the season into the AAC tournament, or we may not. I think that's just a determining factor we'll see. So he'll be out, minimum of 4 weeks, it looks like. And then Winston has decided to step away from the team and really just focus right now on his body, physically, his health. He did such an incredible job getting back onto the court. But Winston has an expectation for himself on where he wants his body to be while he's playing. And he's healthy, he's good, he's doing great, we fully support him, we're there for him. But he's decided that he wants to just work right now and focus on his body, getting strong, focus on his academics, and just keep that focus there instead of trying to battle through all of it at the same time. And I totally support Winston, and we're going to help him be stronger when his time does come.
Just as a follow-up, is there a chance he could return to the team, or is that kind of to be determined?
I think that's to be determined. I just know we support Winston fully and are going to help him with what he wants to accomplish so he can feel strong and feel good moving forward in his basketball and academic career.
All right, there is Mike Schwartz talking about there at the end there, both Winston Tabbs and Javon Small. Javon Small, 3 to 4 weeks minimum. And then you've got Winston Tabbs, who is now away from the team, so no more Winston Tabbs, and just was unable to see him at his full ability here at East Carolina, and unfortunate. But, man, guys stepping up last night. East Carolina knocking off Tulsa, Brandon Johnson and R.J. Felton with some big ones. And as Jeff said, Benjamin Biela, a bit of a coming out party. I tell you, there are like little signs, little spurts where he looks like he belongs, a really good D1 basketball player. It's hard to imagine because he got off to such a bad start this season where he was like 1 for 23 from the field at one point, maybe worse than that. But he looked good last night, and maybe all about confidence, playing more. We got to get Ezra back at some point, and if he can click with the way the guys played last night, they can certainly win the game on Sunday against Wichita State.
Yeah, and the thing about Ben Biela, and you talk about confidence, a good way of getting confidence is making shots, but making shots down the stretch, making big shots down the stretch in important times of the game, in crunch times of the game. That's exactly what he did yesterday. And I said something to you, he's got a really smooth stroke. I mean, I think he can really improve from now on, and I think he can become a really big contributor when it comes to shoot the basketball, specifically beyond the arc. So look out for Ben Biela. I think he's starting to heat up. And then also last night too, I don't think we might have talked about it, and you might have talked about it with Jeff Charles, but last night obviously free throws has been just excruciating this year for ECU, but last night they only missed 5. They were 16 for 21 from the free throw line, and that is good enough for 76%. So that was something that, another positive from last night's, or excuse me, 2 nights ago, the win over Tulsa.
Chandler, who, by the way, this was Sunday, September 3rd, 1995. What were you doing?
I wasn't even thought of.
Oh, man. Not only was I thought of, I was at an Atlanta Braves game with my folks in Atlanta. On that day, the Carolina Panthers played their first NFL game. Who was it against?
The Falcons.
It was against the Falcons. And who, Chandler, might I ask, threw the first touchdown pass for the Carolina Panthers?
It could be potentially the next head coach for the Carolina Panthers, former Colts head coach, Frank Reich.
That is very correct. I'm not a Panthers fan, but with the names out there, the realistic names out there, and boy, now I sound like myself saying, Sam Darnold just needed another chance. Give him another chance somewhere. He'll be all right. But I don't think Frank Reich is the worst hire in the world.
No.
How would you feel about that?
I think I would like it because before the Colts, he was the Eagles offensive coordinator the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's exactly who I'm looking for when it comes to the next head coach, besides Steve Wilks, who's a defensive-minded guy. I really want to get a offensive-minded guy in here in Carolina. Frank Reich's obviously one of those guys. I think we had like 7 of our candidates be offensive-minded guys. You got Frank Reich, and I think I wouldn't mind Frank Reich, to be honest. I know Jim Caldwell's a name out there. I don't know if I really would want Jim Caldwell. I think.
Yeah, I mean that's really boring. Frank Reich's kind of boring.
I think Tony's a Jim Caldwell guy. I think Tony wants Jim Caldwell. But there's another guy.
The biggest thing on Jim Caldwell's resume, which is a miracle, is his record with the Lions and getting them to the playoffs, I believe, multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't happened. Like, that right there shows that he can coach and, had some good offensive players around him. But that is a check mark on his resume.
Yeah, so I think Frank Reich. I wouldn't mind that hire, but we'll see how it plays out because Wilks got a second interview, Kellen Moore got a second interview. We have to wait for the Eagles offensive coordinator. I believe we have to wait till January 3rd due to NFL rules to give him a second interview if we wish to do so. But it's starting to I think it's starting to kind of dwindle down here. Dwindle down. Whittle down?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. No, why are you apologizing to me?
I'm sorry.
It's Thursday morning, man. We got to wake up.
I know. It's man. But anyway, it's whittling down, and I think, the Panthers could have a head coach by the start of February. Who that will be, I have no idea.
Chandler, who was the Panthers defensive line coach?
In 95?
In their first game ever.
Oh, gosh, I have no idea.
Well, that's funny because Rod in Wilmington said you're the ECU football encyclopedia. This guy's an ECU football Hall of Famer and a former Pirate coach, so I assumed you would know, but guess not. So we'll just move on. Go to break. No, it is Kerry Gadet. I had no idea either. Somebody mentioned his name.
I have no idea who that is.
Was it Bryce? I think it was Bryce was talking about who recruited him and his process to get to ECU. He mentioned Coach Gadet, who was the Panthers D-line coach. There's some trivia you can throw out to some Panthers fans. Some Panthers Pirates overlapping fans.
There you go. I know a lot of them.
There you go. When we return, Patrick Mason will join us.
As we go to break, Clip, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny, for tuning in this morning. He says, good morning, Clip, Chandler and Shirley.
Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning to you, Johnny.
Hope your day has gotten off to a great start on this beautiful Thursday. We'll take a break. We're going to actually return back to Wednesday. This one was for our Thursday morning crowd. We're going to be back live Wednesday afternoon with Patrick Mason when we return after this.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Before you hit the road this travel season, be sure to get your tires inspected by the tire guys at Greenville Auto World. The Greenville Auto World service team sells all the top brands and economy tires if you need a new set. Need an oil change, state inspection, or AC repair? Greenville Auto World can work on any type of vehicle, and the monthly oil change special is only $29.99. Make an appointment now by calling 364-8730. For award-winning service, trust Greenville Auto World.
Greenville's first ever Texas Fusion restaurant is now open for lunch. That's right, the Sidebar, located right beside the Dickinson Avenue Public House, now offers lunch Tuesday through Friday from 11:30 to 2:30. Come take a break from work and enjoy the tastiest food items around. Whether it's the honey chipotle chicken sandwich, smoked brisket tacos, chicken tortilla soup, chicken tinga nachos, or keep it simple with chips and salsa. To keep up with our ever-changing menu, food and drink specials, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
You know, texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Cuccinella, inviting you and your family to come by Cuccinella's Pizzeria and Italian Ice. Cuccinella's has been serving our special family recipe New York-style pizza since 1932. We think you'll taste the difference in just one bite. When you come in for a pie, don't forget to try our house-made Italian ice or gelato. We make small batches every day from scratch with all fresh ingredients.
Cuccinella's on Old Tar Road in Winterville and a new location coming soon to Uptown Greenville.
This is Brian Bailey, host of The Brian Bailey Show, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency. From maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk, Town's insurance advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live on a Wednesday. Great to have you, as we are having fun in here. 26 minutes ago, John Moody on Facebook Live said, boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Now let me say well.
Mike P said the Tulsa coach did look like Steve Kerr. Steve currently on a losing streak to the Pirates. Well done, Mike. And as Chandler mentioned, Johnny Robertson gave us our Thursday good morning. Thank you, Johnny. Patrick, do you notice the use of boom, boom, boom? Let me hear you say wayo and Minji's.
I do. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I really didn't think much of it till I saw you on Twitter. But it is a little.
I'm raising awareness. It is not a thing. They're forcing it. And it's just, I don't know why they thought that should be our thing, but it's not our thing.
There's always something at a stadium. It's just infuriating, right? Like in timeout, something happens. I remember at Iowa, they had this Ponchero's burrito, and they had the burrito lift, so everyone's doing this with their hands, pumping it up. And it's like, why?
Did you say that was heaven?
Yeah, it is.
No, you're... Shirley, you remember Field of Dreams?
Yeah, Iowa City is as close as you get.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that heaven?
No, it's Iowa.
It's Iowa.
That was what I wanted you to say, Patrick.
My Field of Dreams now. I've only seen it like once or twice, but like 20 years ago.
All right, look, when we go live on the show and I say, is that heaven? I want you to say, no, it's Iowa. All right? All right, welcome back into Pirate Radio Live. Clip Rock, Patrick Mason here on a Thursday. Great to have you along with us. Patrick, have you noticed the boom, boom, boom in Minji's?
You know, I think I've heard it.
You have? Did y'all have anything weird, like where you went to college?
I think there was this thing in Iowa. It was like Poncheros. They had a burrito lift, something like that.
Did you say heaven?
Is this Iowa?
Not exactly. But I think I might have said it right.
I was only paying half attention in our pregame meeting here.
Is this Iowa? Misheard quotes.
I thought I was playing Jeopardy.
Yeah. Please answer in the form of a question.
Is it Iowa? What is Iowa?
4-letter word for heaven.
2 words, potato wave.
That is a reference from Off the Air yesterday. What's your favorite Pearl Jam song, Patrick?
I don't have one. Well, yes, that one. if I heard Pearl Jam, I'd be like, yeah, that's them, but I can't pick out a name of songs.
I guess you're... How old of a lady are you?
What now?
Go to hell. How old of a gentleman are you?
32.
All right, so how old were you in 1993?
3.
Yeah.
My math is easy because I was born in 90.
Okay, fair. My math is pretty good. I graduated in 2000. That helps me a lot.
Good benchmark.
So who was your first favorite? Do you remember like your first CD or whatever, like first music you were really into?
My mom got me into the Beatles pretty early, so I was actually listening to that, and then I listened to some Backstreet Boys.
Oh boy, we're learning a lot about Patrick here.
Yeah, as like a second grader, I was all about it.
Yeah, I guess that because I listened to like pop music, like whatever the popular thing was when I was that age. I guess, and by the time you came around in rock, it had turned into the either rap metal stuff like Limp Bizkit was doing maybe, or no, maybe it was that, but like emo was popular.
Yeah, like, not Fall Out Boy, but I guess they were a thing. What's the other band? Like Panic at the Disco, All American Rejects.
Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah, those kind of. I actually saw them in a concert. They opened up for at the House of Blues for somebody.
Taking Back Sunday?
Yeah.
I like them.
It was awesome.
I was at ZMB doing so in order for me to do a sports show on the student station, WZMB at ECU, and call live games, which was awesome. I called like live ECU basketball from Minji's, football from the very tip top of the camera deck, which is now the, of course, the Town Bank Tower. But before that, I was at the very top. But that was awesome. But in order to do that, they made me host a rock show from it was at night. It was like from 9 to midnight or something on Saturday.
On a Saturday.
That's kind of cool though.
It was all right.
So you picked music and
and I played a lot of my own stuff like that I liked, but I also was introduced to like what college kids like or whatever. So I got to know a lot of those kind of indie rock, emo rock, whatever. Taking Back Sunday and stuff like that.
That's a cool experience.
Cool, neat story. Well, who do they open for? You got to know the main act. If
Motion City Soundtrack.
Nah, I don't know them.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't say them, probably. Patrick, let me read one of your tweets real quick.
Yes, I love that when we read on the air.
28 minutes ago, Patrick Mason tweeted, "The Patmobile," it's a cool name, right? Rhymes with Batmobile.
Yep.
Rhymes with bat. The Patmobile is treating these Greenville roads like Splash Mountain. Holy rain, Batman.
It's some rain out there.
And when it rains fast, there's a lot of flooding that goes on around these parts.
Yeah, you could just be driving and all of a sudden... So,
by the way, Splash Mountain is closed.
I heard that. What's up with that?
Okay, so the reason why is because it is Splash Mountains, like, I guess, was based off the movie. Oh shoot, I forgot the name of the movie, but it's got it's not The Sound of Music, but it's The Sound of something.
Oh boy. Song of the South.
Song of the South, that's it.
Sweet potato pie. Shut my mouth.
Yeah, so apparently because it had heavy racial overtones, they're going to close it down and they're going to rebrand it and open it back up, and they're going to base it off the movie The Princess and the Frog, which featured the very first African-American princess.
Doesn't that also promote bestiality?
What?
Oh, wow. Okay.
She kisses a frog. Am I wrong here?
Oh, no.
I never saw the movie, so.
All right, let's move on.
Please.
But that's the reason why they're closing Splash.
Next.
Next. Ask the trainer.
Ask
Next.
the trainer. Next.
What coach is that, Patrick?
I don't know.
Mike Ditka.
Yeah. See?
Oh, yeah, you're a Bears guy.
Right, that's what I mean.
You're too young.
Random.
And that was with the Saints. We're doing a real stream of consciousness thing today, Patrick. Yeah,
I can tell.
Hey, you see that? Hey, you see that, pal? That's your IQ. 0.
So we started. Shirley, can you do a quick Dan Marino for us? We just started talking about like freakouts, and Dan Marino had one or two.
Because of Brian Griese, he's the #1 rated quarterback, and there's a good reason why.
I talked to my man Terrell Buckley last week in Miami. He was on a bye week, by the way, playing golf. He told me that defense is
That was Dan Marino slamming a table on Inside the NFL. And as I was getting that audio, I started looking up some other great ones, and there was one with Ditka where he was just really pissed off after a game or a practice. I think a game. And they said, Mike, who's your quarterback for next week? We got 3 quarterbacks on this roster, and we'll play one of them. Next. And I'll say, how's the health of so-and-so? Ask the trainer. Next. And then he just kept going on, and somebody finally said,
why are you in a bad mood,
Mike, why are you in such a bad mood?
Why do you care?
He said, what do you care? If you were 2-7, you'd be in a bad mood too. Next. And it was a great conversation. And anyway, that's what we're talking about today. Speaking of being a little agitated, angry, William. Hey,
You are terrible!
that was me last night.
Then stop playing that song!
Chandler videoed me without my permission. William is back on YouTube, Patrick. He says, Mason, I love that he calls you by your last name. I was waiting for you to ask Cliff during media day if he is the man to get ECU to Omaha. I would have also liked if you would have questioned his bunting philosophy. So William is the guy that wants you to, I guess,
be aggressive.
Well, even just be an agitator, I guess.
All right, so let's get this bunting thing out of the way. I've sort of, okay, I hate bunting. It's awful, but I do see its value in the college game. Like, I could see it work. So, there's time and a place for it for sure. But
in the college game, because there's more potential for the play not to be made, maybe?
I think that's a huge part of it. Just put the pressure on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put the ball on the ground in Major League Baseball, it's out a lot of the time.
Yeah.
In college, just get the ball somewhere and make something happen. So I get that for sure.
Are you going to ask Cliff, is he the man to get ECU to Omaha?
It's possible. Maybe if they don't get there again this year. I don't know, but they are. I mean, he's the man to get him in the right spot, right?
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I don't think there's a question about that.
William is...
ECU loses in a super regional to be eliminated, and Patrick
in the third game.
And Patrick Mason will say, Coach, are you, like...
Oh, my God.
Like, he'll say, Coach, like, for real, are you the guy? And,
Go to hell!
William is just an instigator. He wants Patrick to start mixing it up. You're too much of a nice guy. You're too... Look, everybody makes a heel turn at some point. I don't know how much you followed wrestling, but like Hulk Hogan joining the NWO, Shawn Michaels kicking Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window. Like all those nice guys, they turn ugly at some point, Patrick, and it's going to happen one day with you.
Yeah, just get me in the ring, and we'll see a heel turn.
All right. We have not talked much sports, but let's take a break. We'll do that when we return. Patrick was at Minji's last night. Will he be there 2 nights in a row? I know one man that will be, and that man is the Chan Man, Chandler Honeycutt. ECU women in action tonight. ECU versus Memphis. We'll talk about that one, the Pirates win last night over Tulsa, and some baseball when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. Jeff, what can you do for people looking for a new vehicle in 2023?
We can show the people the number one selling car in the region, the Buick Encore, the Encore GX, the Envision, and the Buick Enclave. We've also got Cadillac dominating the market with the XT4, XT5, and XT6, and we continue to get new GMC Sierra trucks in daily. Please come see us at 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates. The doors open at noon, 7 days a week. And the Buck has live music every night, along with football. Monday is open mic night, the first Monday of each month. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, it's acoustic night. Thursday, it's the dance party with DJ Kid Scene and live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for information and schedule of events. This season, party like a pirate at the Buck.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business today, come and see someone on our team at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard here in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holt Nailers for my friends at ArcPoint Labs. Just as I trust my teammates, you can trust ArcPoint Labs to give you quick and accurate results for your laboratory testing needs. ArcPoint Labs provides insights and solutions to enable individuals, businesses, and communities to make informed decisions on their health, safety, and well-being. Visit any of the 6 Eastern North Carolina ArcPoint Labs locations or go to arcpointlabs.com. Go Pirates!
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American Airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with 0 interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
This is Dr. Josiah Duke from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's that time for a joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services as well as walk-in urgent care on weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
This is Miles Berry, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store. Serving the best cheese, biscuits, and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. And both locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free, high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live. I don't know why I haven't done this before, but I'm doing it right now as we speak. I'm sending out the request to interview the strength coach for ECU basketball, Keith. And we've been calling him Pew. Are we sure it's Pew? P-O-U-G-H. Could be Poe. Could be Pew. We'll go Pew. Poe. How would you say it, Patrick, as a words guy?
Yeah, like I think quick reading it, Pew looks right, but now it looks like Poe.
I know. I'm starting to think Poe.
What about Puff? Because if that's an R, that could be rough.
I kind of like that.
Puff would be kind of sweet.
Or Tough, yeah.
Yeah.
Keith Puff.
I like
Puff
that.
Daddy.
I like that. Maybe we should petition that to him.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, if you've seen an ECU game and seen the bearded gentleman that just goes 8 bleep during games, trying to get the crowd up, keeping the players hyped, I mean, he does an awesome job at providing energy on the bench.
He'll get in the crowd. Like, say Pirates going to run, opponent calls timeout. You need to watch out if you're, like, in the front row at the bottom bowl or, like, maybe baseline.
He's coming.
Because he's coming with that towel. He's
that towel's whapping.
He's whapping that towel.
Whapping. I want to talk to him on Pirate Radio Live, so I'm going to send out that interview request after this segment. I'm going to hit the send. All right, Patrick, Pirates win last night. We have talked about it with the voice. We've talked, well, before we get into sports, got a few more things. Ed the Cat TV says, boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say way-o.
Boom, boom, boom. Now let me hear you say way-o.
Had to get that out of here. Out of the.
It isn't great, is it?
It's terrible.
Not good.
It's not a thing.
No.
Not a thing. Jack says we need to bunt more. William says, which player in their prime would have more of an impact if he played for ECU basketball, Bird or LeBron? What a sports talk radio conversation starter. Which player?
There's only one
prime?
answer. It's LeBron.
I would tend to agree.
You have to agree.
Just think if he was on the court last night.
That's what I'm saying.
Or if prime LeBron was on the court last night, he would have
He's dropping 75.
70 dunks. Like, and Bird, if you watch Bird and watch the highlights, like, he is an amazing facilitator. Like, but who's he?
I mean, he's
how
also
much
scoring
better
every time too.
He is scoring. Yeah. They're both scoring 70.
LeBron is just a freak. Like he's
How about
he's the only
LeBron
dude
on
touching the ball.
defense? How many blocks would he have had last
All of
night?
them. Like,
yeah. And this is not like a who's better, it really. But to answer your question, more of an impact.
Yeah,
LeBron James would be the answer.
He can play and guard every spot on the floor.
And by the way, if you're saying I can't have LeBron, I'll give you Bird instead. Fine, we'll go win an AAC championship with Larry Bird. Great, I'll take it. Absolutely. We've said just about everything, Patrick, from great performance by R.J. Felton and Brandon Johnson. Absolutely love R.J. not hitting his three. So what does he do? He goes in the paint. He goes to work. He goes mid-range and just drops buckets. How about 10 field goals last night for him? And a lot of those come in the paint area.
Yeah, and I think he shot 17 times, so really efficient. And like you said, like even Schwartz said after the game, just you really work the high post with him. Get him just into that little elbow spot and just, let him do his thing. He can shoot, just crash the boards. So, yeah, he was awesome.
Luigi DeBow, huge factor in the win last night. 7 rebounds, but again, how many times did he get his hand on the ball that led to an extra possession for ECU? Unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Yeah, he was great.
Love the hustle. Ben Biela, welcome to the show.
Hitting some shots.
Still, Ezra still in a funk?
Ezra and Quentin combined for like 30-plus minutes and 1 shot attempt. So that can't happen.
Yeah. And also got the news on Javon Small, 3 to 4 weeks minimum, said Mike Schwartz. And then also Winston Tabbs away from the team. So we will not see any more of him. How do you, I don't know, was last night kind of a flash in the pan? They beat a bad team, Patrick? Or Do you think East Carolina could sweep Wichita State on Sunday without Javon Small?
It's possible. I think they are figuring out ways to move the ball around and try to score. I mean, in the first half, there wasn't anything going on offensively. They were just passing the ball and saying, all right, now you throw it somewhere. In the second half, I think they really figured it out and just attacked. So, I don't know. I really liked Jaden Walker running the point. I thought that was really good. It helped out defensively as well.
Another huge key last night. He went into lockdown mode defensively.
Yeah, so they are really dynamic on that end of the floor with Jaden Walker. I mean, Caleb LeCount, I mean, he can definitely dribble. He's just not really much of a threat to score on his own. And defensively, doesn't really offer too much.
His 3 layups last night says otherwise, Patrick.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
It's tough to finish.
Right. And defensively.
Which is why I was so hype at those 3 layups, because we haven't seen him finish a lot of those. So I was excited last night.
Right. I mean, it's tough when guys are a foot and a half taller than you.
Sure. I mean, you wouldn't know that. You're a tall gentleman. How tall of a gentleman are you, Patrick?
6'4".
How about that?
Wow.
But that's not huge for basketball standards.
No, you're
just an average fella in basketball.
But I remember LeCount getting to the basket one time. He got there quick. Which, I mean, we knew he was kind of fast, but I remember looking at your dad and being like, man, where has that been all year? But, yeah, it doesn't really matter what his size is. If he can get by guys like he did last night, he can cause some havoc.
We appreciate everybody chiming in, being a part of the show. Tyler on YouTube says, boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Now let me hear say well.
Thank you, Tyler.
You did this to yourself.
Yep, we did. But we have to. We have to wear it out so they will stop using it. It's the only thing we can do. We have to make it our thing so it can't be their thing.
That's right. You got to own it.
Sacrificing.
You got to own it.
Yeah, I'm helping out everybody inside of Minji's Coliseum by just playing boom, boom, boom nonstop.
Boom, boom, boom. Now let me hear say well.
Women's hoops tonight, Patrick.
Women's hoops.
Starting to get a little buzz, and you know what? Starting to get a little media bandwagon, I'm hearing.
It is.
Some people have been there since day one, right?
Some people have been there since day one. Not many. Yeah, so it sounds like I'm going to have a little bit of a crowd tonight, you know?
The internet guys jumping on, the radio guys, newspaper guy been there since day one.
Yep, day one. But, yeah, I mean, they're playing awesome. They're actually really fun to watch. I mean, when you have a top 5 team in so many different defensive categories in your backyard, why not come out and watch them and support them? I mean, they're playing awesome.
9-2 at home this year. Great number in Minji's. When you see a guy like a Chandler Honeycutt kind of show up when he wasn't showing up when there was, leftover pizza, but then all of a sudden they put a ribeye on the table, here he is. Like, what do you think about people like that?
Just wave and move on. I love you, Chandler.
Oh, that'd be awesome tonight if you show up. Chandler goes in for the fist bump. Patrick looks up,
a distant wave
from his laptop, waves, and just goes right back to it. That's what I want to happen.
You know what? I'll respect that.
All right, we're out of time. Patrick, any takeaways from Media Day? We've been hitting some bullet points on it. Anything you got from Baseball Media Day on Monday?
I'm actually really excited about seeing Jacob Jenkins-Cowart in center field. I think that's kind of neat. I mean, he's really tall, lanky. I think he can cover some ground out there. That's kind of fun. Shortstop will be a question going in. I'm just trying to rattle off some things here. I think pitching is going to be pretty fun this year. I think it's going to be really good. And it'll look a lot different than last year, which didn't have any sort of rhyme or reason to a rotation. This year, obviously, the goal is to have a functioning rotation and have some pieces in the back end.
You mentioned fun. You know what's not going to be fun? Not seeing props.
Yeah,
that's going to be one of the rule changes. No props on the field.
Right. And that team had a ton, right? They had traffic cones, sledgehammers, all the rest.
They were taking advantage of the rule, but we'll no longer be able to do that. Mike P points out 6'4" in adult rec leagues is a giant.
That is true. But then everyone wants me to play the post and play under the rim. I like to shoot.
I mean, you're Jokic. You're Dirk.
Right. I like
Kevin
the jack
Garnett.
threes, man.
Patrick, thanks for hanging out. Reflector.com, the Daily Reflector, and you can follow him on Twitter as well. Anything else to plug?
Just boom, boom. We'll see you later.
All right. He's out with the boom, boom. Out with the boom. We'll take a break, come back. Stephen Igoe, ECU women's basketball media bandwagoner, will join us coming up on the other side of this timeout. More to go after this.
America's favorite light beer, Bud Light, is also the official beer of the ECU Pirates. When planning your fun times with family and friends, be sure to pick up some Bud Light at your favorite retailer. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun, because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Always have fun, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Go Pirates!
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Hey, I'm Holt Nailers. No one knows better than me how important it is as a quarterback to have protection on the field to be successful. My frontline team is critical to my success. For your frontline insurance protection, you need the team at Buck Insurance Agency. Buck Insurance Agency is your local team and have been helping customers like you for over 30 years with their insurance needs. When you need insurance protection, you'll get the whole team with Brian Buck and his staff. Call toll-free at 877-357-1966. Go Pirates.
University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern has been serving the tech repair needs of Eastern North Carolina since 2006. And as one of the only Apple authorized service providers east of Raleigh, all our technicians are Apple certified, and we only use genuine Apple parts. Your iPhone and Mac warranties are safe with us. Have questions or need service? Call 252-558-1280 or visit us online at universitypccare.com. University PC Care, your one-stop shop for service on everything Apple.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier restaurant and bourbon authority. Jefferson's, Basil Hayden, Woodford Reserve, and a Midwinter Night's Dram are just a few of the incredible bourbon options. The Rick House features the very best steaks and fresh, made-from-scratch pastas. The Rick House can host your corporate event or special parties in the 3,000-square-foot banquet hall. Join the Rick House for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and for the wine tastings on the last Friday of every month. The Rick House.
Add some sparkle and style to your home and save at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Give your home a new look in the new year with beautiful new furniture. Right now, get a Bostic Sugg first time ever offer with 3 ways to save. 1, get a sales tax discount on any purchase. 2, get a $100 in MasterCard rewards cards for every $1,000 you spend. And finally, get 6 months special financing. So add some sparkle and style to your home with a little help from Bostic Sugg Furniture.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on HoistTheColors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. To get the business services that are right for your business today, contact a team of experienced local bankers at First Bank. The team includes bankers you can trust like Ashley Capps, Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nesbitt. First Bank, together with their customers, they're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live. TJ wants the Dennis Green rant after the Bears game.
That's an all-time.
That is a
all-time classic.
Yeah.
Probably number one, honestly.
Yeah. They let him off the hook, TJ.
Podium slap is what makes it.
William says, ask Igoe. Stephen Igoe's here.
What's up? What's up, guys? How's it going?
Boom, boom, boom to you, sir.
Let me hear you say, hey-oh.
Let me say, well.
The Bears are what we thought they were. What we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown them. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
That was Cardinals.
Yep.
That wasn't the same game, I don't think, but remember Derek Anderson? Wasn't he on the Cardinals when he went on his...
I wasn't laughing.
Shirley, do we have Derek Anderson saved? You think I think that's funny?
You think I think that's funny?
I take this serious. Like, a lot of Cardinals Monday night angry rants.
A lot of awkward rants in there.
What was the name again?
Derek Anderson.
Derek Anderson.
Former Panthers great. Block Tony Dunn on Twitter, by the way.
Yep, got it.
All right, let's go.
I don't mean this to be sarcastic or pointed, but I mean, that went out on Monday Night Television. A lot of fans are talking about it right now as a big problem with this team. Can you put in context what was going on at that moment? What caused it?
What Deuce and I talk about is nobody else's business.
But why was something funny when you're down 18 points in the fourth quarter?
It wasn't funny. I wasn't laughing about anything.
The camera showed you laughing.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Commented about it.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not laughing about it. You think this is funny? I take this serious.
I'm not.
Real serious. I put my heart and soul into this every single week.
All I'm saying is the camera shows.
I'm just telling you right now what I do every single week. Every single week. I put my freaking heart and soul into this. I study my off. I don't go out there and laugh. It's not funny. Nothing's funny to me. I don't want to go out there and get embarrassed on Monday Night Football in front of everybody.
That's why I'm asking you what.
I'm telling you right now, we're talking. Deuce and I are talking.
What was the context?
Sorry. I'm not dealing with him. Sorry.
I love that the reporter was just relentless, man.
I love that he tried to turn it on the reporter being funny. You think this is funny?
Nothing's funny.
He never answered why he was laughing, which, I mean, it really is nobody's business.
I watched Dumb and Dumber last night. I didn't laugh one time. Nothing's funny to me. I've never laughed in my life. We have you on video laughing. I've never laughed. That wasn't me laughing.
That wasn't funny.
That wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. Nothing's funny.
Both things here. I really hate when there's a still shot of something and it goes on social media or TV or whatever, and they're like, why is this guy doing this?
And then we all draw our conclusions
from one
based
instance.
On 3 seconds of footage.
Like, you could be at a funeral, the saddest funeral of your life, and you're at your grandpa's funeral and your uncle tells a joke and you laugh, and you're like, oh my God, he is laughing at the funeral. Did he kill him?
Is this a setup?
I hate the over jumping to conclusions with that.
That never happens in today's society.
Also, I guess I'll give the reporter credit. I was going to get on him early because he did the whole some people are saying thing.
Right.
Instead of saying, I saw you laughing. What were you laughing? He did the soften the blow thing, which we all do, where he's like, hey, some people said they saw you laughing. What was that about? And then it turned him to, dude, I saw you laughing. What were you laughing at? So everybody was a little bit in the wrong for that. But anyway.
And to this day,
nice sigh, by the way.
We still don't know why Derek Anderson was laughing down 18 in the fourth quarter.
All right. So, Derek, I got to ask, what were you laughing at that one game? Who was he talking to?
Who was he talking to?
Thank you, Jameis. Oh, Deuce.
Deuce McAllister? No way.
It's got to be a different Deuce.
Wasn't Keaton Mitchell.
Was it? Oh, I bet it was it Cardinals? Early Doucette?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was early Doucette. That's what I'm going with. William says, ask Igoe how much NIL money it would take to turn ECU Hoops into a top 25 team within 2 years. I say we go straight blue chips. I'm talking homes, cars, tractors. Tyler adds on to that and says, what about escorts? Like Ford escorts. Nice save, Tyler. So if we went completely illegal, I guess that's two different questions there.
If I had a conversation with a booster the other day about, hey, if we took all this money that is being put into football NIL and put it into basketball NIL, you could make a much bigger impact in a much shorter amount of time. And yes, you could turn ECU basketball potentially into a top 25 NCAA tournament caliber team if you took $500,000, or whatever, and put that into basically recruiting 10 players rather than recruiting 85. For the obviously in football you got 85 scholarships versus 13 in men's basketball. So I think it's a possibility. Now the flip side of that is these people giving money to the NIL, they are doing it for football more so than men's basketball right now because football has a greater tradition, a bigger fan base. And if you went to all those people and say, hey, will you still give this same amount of money just to men's basketball, you would likely get a lot of either no's or, hey, we'll give this instead because the tradition isn't there.
And then some of them like Duke and Carolina.
That's true, too. I mean, that's a reality. Now, the booster I talked to is, obviously he's a bigger football fan than basketball right now, but he's like, we could give this to basketball and make a big impact. And, let's say for whatever reason, football over the next decade struggles to keep up with the current landscape of college football. Maybe eventually you transition into that for men's basketball, or Coach Schwartz starts winning quicker than people expect and you get more momentum. And I've had local business owners ask me, hey, how do we keep these guys here? Like a Javon Small, Ezra Osar. Like last year, they were like, what do we need to do to keep Tristan Newton? So, like, people do know that that's a reality. I think if the program starts winning, I think you will see a bigger investment. But at some point, it's always like, what comes first, the investment or the winning? To me, I think we're at the point where the winning has to happen to get people on board, excited consistently, and then I think you'll see more of the investment.
Yeah. Here's my thing on that, though. You know how when, like Damian Lillard scores 45 and immediately has a P test after the game, or, Javonte Williams scores 3 touchdowns and drug test? If ECU goes from losing record 30 years straight and then makes the tournament, they're going to investigate, like, every little thing we have going on. And it's going to be like,
worth it.
Oh, no, 100%. But, like, could you imagine a good ECU basketball team and how many people outside of ECU, even inside ECU, but outside would be like, something's wrong here. This isn't supposed to happen like this. I was just scared they would go through every detail and they'll find out that, like, Ricky Stokes paid for a guy's breakfast in 2007 and everybody's,
And the Pirates have been given the death penalty.
Yeah, the hoops death penalty. But I'm with Igoe. One tournament.
Oh, dude, I would cheat. I would love to see ECU cheat for one tournament.
One tournament equals one death penalty to me.
I mean, we've gone through 30 years of no tournament. Like, what the hell's the difference?
I'm glad you're fully on board with that.
I don't care. I mean, obviously, I would like to see ECU achieve greatness in all sports as fairly as possible, but everybody else is cheating. Why not?
We don't ask for much. How much fun did you have last night at Minji's covering the team? Oh, not a lot.
I had fun.
Well. It was fun to see the team win. Are you kidding me?
No, I had fun. I could have had more fun.
What would have been more fun?
Not hearing that song. But no, man. I told one of our interns who was covering the game with me, I was like, I don't get to say this much, but there's nothing like walking out of Minji's after a conference victory.
Yeah.
It's just a great feeling.
Yeah, because it is rare.
It is so rare. It's like, man, you might beat Tulsa, the worst team, or whatever. It's still a great feeling. And when they pull that upset, which they will pull that upset this year at home, not only on the road at Wichita State, but it's going to be an even greater feeling.
Yeah. Mike Schwartz, win number 1 for him at home in the conference.
Yep.
He's a much elusive. He was finally got it last night. Mike P says, boom, boom, boom. Let me say Igoe.
Igoe.
Let me say well.
So, Igoe, actually, you're a big fan of that in Minji's, right?
Yeah, I love it. I honestly didn't know they even played it that much. I mean, I feel like I'd heard it once or twice, but then when your video came up, I'm like, you know what? They do play that song quite a bit.
all the time, and I can't take it anymore. I am on the record.
Do they play it at baseball too?
No!
I feel like somebody plays that song at baseball.
They might play it every now, but like they just play that one little part because they're like trying to make it a thing or something. You could go through my text, a documented text to someone close to the situation saying this boom 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 thing doesn't work.
And what was?
And that was back in December.
What was the response?
Something to the effect of I thought it was going to stop, but it hasn't. It's only gotten more. I think at this point they're just trolling me.
I am going to document every time that song is played during the women's basketball game tonight.
I bet it's going to be 0,
and we'll see. We'll see if it's played.
I bet it's 0. I bet, and I'm gonna start going to those.
Do we know if the same people work each game, or how that's done?
We don't. James says if ECU wanted to be good at basketball, they should have hired Rick Pitino when they had the chance. It would have been like getting NIL early.
I mean, Mann's up there winning at Iona, right? At least
I didn't want him though. I'm okay with winning dirty, but I don't know, man. I didn't want Pitino. Yeah, but we can win. We can find another dirty way than Pitino. There's plenty of dirty guys. Damn, that reminds me. I was supposed to ask Jeff Charles, his nice guy in sports. Ellerby's going to fire me for that.
Ellerby, clearly not a nice guy in sports. He's going to fire you for that.
Maybe we can get Jeff back on the phone real quick. I don't know. All right. Igoe, who is the... so we were talking about Dale Murphy coming to Greenville.
Yeah.
Who is the nicest guy? Who's on the nice guy in sports list? We were making a list. Or like 100% approval rating. I put Freddie Freeman in there because I feel like he's tough to hate.
Yeah.
Somebody said Ken Griffey Jr., but I could see where maybe backwards hat and he was a little cocky, could rub people the wrong way. Like Chipper Jones was cocky. He's not on that list of 100%.
I feel like with Griffey, at least in the Mariners fan base, I heard Ellerby talking about it, like, he's definitely seen as a great. I don't think maybe around that time there was some resentment, but since he came back and finished his career in Seattle, I don't think there was any resentment.
How about Elway?
I don't know. I feel like Elway rubbed some people the wrong way.
Not as a player.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like remember he demanded the trade. Everybody kind of thought he was like snotty. And
yeah.
He didn't want to play for the Colts or whatever.
I'm thinking of later 90s
Yeah,
Elway.
late 90s Elway is up there.
No, you're right.
Early days Elway, he was very... I watched a documentary on him. He was extremely cocky and condescending.
Yeah.
Clip, I did overhear Jeff talking to Jonathan this morning about his nice guy.
I hate that I didn't ask Jeff. That is on me.
But
Shirley, give me a boom, boom, boom as a punishment real quick.
The moron of the month.
I'm the moron of the month. All right, who do you got?
he mentioned Jay Wright.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
That's a good one.
I think Shirley, had the best one now that Jay Wright's out of it as far as likable in today's college game. Tony Bennett, I think is a good answer.
Nobody really has anything negative to say about Tony Bennett.
Do you have any other athletes, coaches in mind?
Y'all were just rattling them off yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I think we might have hit everybody.
I think y'all hit like all the big ones.
Did I say Tony Gwynn out loud? Because I think that's a good one too. Yeah.
I don't think so, but that's a good one.
Thank you, Shirley. That's why I like
You're
Shirley.
welcome.
Yeah. Shirley, could you do more of that? Just kind of agree with everything I say?
No, I can't.
Thank you for not lying.
I'm a terrible liar, by the way.
What about Harold Varner? Until he went to Live Tour, maybe?
Until he went to Live.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like he was pretty universally loved in the PGA Tour.
Yep. Now you got the Live stain, I guess. All right. Let's take a break. How long are you hanging out?
5:45. Let's go 5:47.
All right. Awesome.
5:47 in 13 seconds. I got to park.
We'll take a break, have a robust discussion on ECU athletics when we return. Scott says Cal Ripken. Mentioned that one yesterday. That is a perfect example of what we're talking about. You're not going to find a Cal detractor out there. More to go. Pirate Radio Live after this.
When it comes to hauling dirt, asphalt, or stone, You can trust the pros at First and Goal Hauling Incorporated. They have a fleet of dump trucks ready to get the job done. And best of all, it's owned and operated by ECU football alum Dakota Marshall. When you have a big job and you need it done right, count on First and Goal Hauling, where it's a touchdown every time. Keep up with Dakota Marshall and First and Goal Hauling by following them on Facebook today.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi Spa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates!
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
You've had your new computer a few years now, but lately it's been running super slow, acting strange, and you're worried about viruses and losing data.
This is driving me mad!
Let the experts at University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern professionally diagnose your Mac or PC to see what's really going on. They'll determine the root cause and not just symptoms, so you don't waste money fixing the wrong issues. Call 252-558-1280 for in-store or remote service, or make an appointment online at universitypccare.com.
Happy New Year. This is Talbot Green, and I'm excited to announce our new partnership with Integrity Home Mortgage. Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans, plus construction and lot loans. Our Integrity Home Mortgage team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir offer over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with superior customer service. To get started, call me, Talbot Green, 714-2076.
NMLS 28516, Equal Housing Lender. East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington has everything you need for game day or any other day for men and women. Whether it's dress, casual, or even a formal occasion, Russell's has you covered. Russell's has served Eastern North Carolina and beyond for 40 years with quality clothing and personal service. Russell's Clothing on Main Street in downtown Washington, part of Pirates supporting Pirates. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Cliff.
All right, during the break for Igoe, I thought of 4 extremely likable athletes that at one point played for Denver. Igoe he named one of them.
Can I see if I can name the other 3?
Sure. Who's the first one you named?
Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis was almost boring, right? Like, I don't remember him talking junk. He did the salute. He had braces. How are you going to hate a guy with braces? You can't hate a guy with braces. Extremely likable. All right. Who are the other 3 on my list? I kind of gave you a clue that Terrell Davis is the only guy that was kind of most known as a Bronco.
I'm trying to think of my most likable Broncos. Ed McCaffrey and Rod Smith were 2 guys who came to mind, but
I didn't say them, but I don't see why people would hate those guys.
Yeah,
really.
They're probably too obscure to get noticed.
What were you going to say, Chandler?
I was going to say John Lynch.
John Lynch is on the list.
Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey not on the list, but he could be. Yeah. Now, this one might be tricky, but Brian Dawkins played for the Broncos, right?
He was one of my favorite Broncos.
For me to like him as an Eagle, I think says a lot. He is a great example of how you can show emotion and celebrate and it not be taunting. I feel like all of his emotion was for himself and his teammates and not really taunting the opponent. So I would put him on the list. My other one was Jake Plummer, just because even in college at Arizona State, he was the underdog. He just gave his body up and was so fun to watch and seemed like a good dude, too. Yeah. So Jake Plummer made my list.
Jake the Snake, he was just himself. I mean, he didn't try to like hide anything, and he struggled with the fame just because like I don't think he really enjoyed that aspect of it. He just wanted to go out there and play ball and have fun. But man, Brian Dawkins for sure. I think he played 3 years in Denver, and it was at the tail end of his career. But man, he was incredible. Like, and he wasn't his best then, but still. I just remember he would get the big hits and he would like do like the Superman flex and like all
he was almost
stuff.
Like a superhero out there. Like
he just did crazy stuff.
He was freak. And again, he was an Eagle. I hate the Eagles and I liked him, so that says a lot, I think.
Chandler, if you're a big YouTube guy, there was a Brian Dawkins hype video when he signed with Denver. It was
already seen it.
Okay, it's like my favorite YouTube video ever. So
yeah.
He is all the mic'd up stuff.
Did he have a nickname? Was he like
the Wolverine?
Yep. Okay, yeah. John Moody says, any idea when the parentheses, boom, 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 in parentheses, spring game will be held?
I get it.
You have an idea.
Mid-April. It's funny because I've had like 4 people ask me that this week now, and I guess it's starting to come up on the calendar where people are trying to make plans. Somebody told me they were here in April 15th, but again, I will figure that out. I'll get a date once it's finalized and do an article on it. But I would assume mid-April based upon how ECU's calendar has fallen in the past.
All right. I love that this name is brought up on YouTube, just so I can say it to Igoe. Most likable guy. Nobody can hate this guy. Everybody likes him, including Stephen Igoe. Jansen says, LaDainian Tomlinson.
I can't stand LaDainian Tomlinson because, A, he shredded East Carolina in the 1999 Mobile Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And then went on to become the Chargers' all-time leading rusher and break every single record known to man against the Denver Broncos. Shredded the Denver Broncos year after year. Did the little touchdown flip.
Awesome celebration. Having said all that, it seems like a good guy.
Yeah, great dude. Like as a person, one of those guys you hate. Like Patrick Mahomes to me, I hate him as a player because he kills my team. But like as a person, like I don't have a problem with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And like LT falls into that same category for me. You just can't stop him. I mean, he was so good, and he like. I don't even know what it was about him that made him so good. He was just like great at everything.
Yeah.
He wasn't like overly fast or powerful. He was just awesome.
Yep.
It's just like really hard to describe.
Brandon Manning says, and there's almost a category forming with these guys here. Kirk Cousins. He's almost in the J.J. Watt, Tim Tebow, like too nice. Like what's really going on with that guy? Is he really this nice category? But Kirk is very corny. He does seem to be a very nice guy.
I feel like at least you have him like doing like the gold chains after the Vikings win. Like, did you ever see like Tebow or J.J. Watt doing that? Maybe J.J. Watt, but Tebow I feel like would like.
And Kirk seems like a smart guy too. He makes the most boneheaded decisions. On that time he had to spike the ball against Philly. Washington's trying to make the playoffs. It's right before halftime. The snap, he takes a knee, and the clock runs out, and they go, and he just is like, oh, I did the wrong thing there. Like, what? Oh, Kirk. He also said, Marquise Grissom, former Brave. One of the nicest he ever met. There's a name, Marquise Grissom. Love that name.
So I looked up nice guy in sports, and an article from 2012 from Bleacher Report popped up, and it had Aaron Rodgers at number 6.
I saw the same one.
And like,
and it was because he never complained.
Yeah,
that's why
it said at the end he never complains, and in today's age, that's really really rare. And
things have changed.
Now all he does is complain. Each week it's like SportsCenter leads with the soundbite of Rodgers just complaining about something, but. Another guy who was on that list was Robert Griffin III. Do you feel like he warrants being on that list?
He's kind of on that.
Nice guy.
I tell you what, though, I love the whatever he is. I don't know if he's an announcer. The personality of RG3 now. I watched the field pass for the college football playoff. He was awesome on that. He's awesome calling games. I like that he's parlayed what was a disappointing pro career into what he has. I think he can't be on the list because as much as fun as 2012 was, rookie of the year, won the division, he got hurt, that sucked, but then he had the all-in for week 1 that offseason, and he is a big me guy, and I think that rubbed people the wrong way. At times it rubbed me the wrong way, so I don't think he can be on 100%. But what did you say from 2012?
Yeah,
hell yeah.
2012, yeah.
That was what a year for him, for Washington, and to be a football fan, to see what he was doing, because it's very similar to like Justin Fields with a winning team and pass completions. Because that offense that year, by the way, guess who was running that offense?
Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan was running that offense.
He is an amazing coach.
Alfred Morris had like 1,400 yards. Nobody knew who the hell he was. Pierre Garçon, great year. Santana Moss was old, and he put up huge numbers. Like that was an awesome offense, thanks to Kyle Shanahan. Which I get back to what I was saying yesterday. Somebody, a Washington reporter, being like, "Hey, don't poo-poo Sam Howell just because of where he was drafted. Look at Brock Purdy." I just think that is a stupid comment. You give me Sam Howell with Shanahan, Debo, McCaffrey, Kittle, Niners defense, Robbie Gould. All right, Sam Howell's good. I'll love Sam Howell in that offense. You don't have all that other stuff.
And Shanahan, much like his father, that zone, stretch zone run scheme, it is so quarterback friendly, especially if the running game is working and you have a defense and good special teams to build around. Basically, Purdy, and obviously he's played well. He's made big-time throws when he needs to. But if you watch the games, he's not making any super complex throws. He's making the short throws, the accurate balls, and he's getting out in the bootleg off the stretch run and doing what that system does, man. It's just when you have Christian McCaffrey and that O-line and that running game, I mean, the quarterback almost kind of just take care of itself as long as you don't turn the football over.
The last month of the season, and talking to my buddy, we're talking fantasy playoffs, he's got George Kittle. George Kittle would find himself wide open every week multiple times, and that's not because the defense doesn't know who he is. It's because of their offense and so many different guys. I mean, how many times is Debo running free over the middle and all those yards after catch? The play designs, he's a genius. He might be, if I had a coach draft today, he would be top 5 easy, maybe top 3.
I think I would take him top number 1. I mean, it still bothers me that the Denver Broncos chose to hire Vance Joseph over Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah,
they didn't even bring him back for a second interview.
Yikes! What was he with the Falcons then? Maybe
I think so.
Yeah. David says Lee Corso. Very likable personality.
Yeah.
Now it's not to sound insensitive, but kind of sad. I mean, it's sad to watch him on TV now, the way it is. TJ says Nick Foles. I don't know if I think about him enough.
I don't even know if he
doesn't really register, right?
He's not even there.
Like, I could name like my buddy Jack Johnson. Like, I don't know. Nick Foles hasn't done enough.
What about Charlie Whitehurst? He was a good backup quarterback.
I could say Charlie Weiss.
It's definitely not Charlie Weiss.
All right, Igoe. We've gone a long time and hadn't really said anything.
We haven't done anything.
No.
This has been the biggest waste of 34 minutes.
Now, that I disagree with. We've got... Exactly. We've done that a lot. That's good. We've talked enough basketball. What did you... let's do some headlines from Baseball Media Day.
Headlines.
All right, I'll give you mine, and you can add on to them. Jacob Jenkins-Coward moving to center field. That was one. Josh Moylan, and you, I think, I had left by that time. I think you really got into this with him, but talking to a sports psychologist, right?
Yeah.
But the main thing he talked about was, and I loved him saying, going to the park to have fun and it not being, I got to go back to practice again, like a job. And I think that's important. It sucks when you're hitting 130 and, you have to go out there. So success has to come with that, but maybe the attitude can bring the success. And look, we're all pulling for him. We've seen how good he can be, and he's a good hitter. Sometimes we have seen him struggle, though, but we're all hoping he has a monster season this year.
Yeah, and baseball, we talk about it all the time. It's a game of failure, and more so than most games, maybe outside of golf and then maybe outside of kicking and football. It's very much a mental battle, and once you either lose confidence or start questioning what you're doing, you can just totally go off the rails. And it makes perfect sense to seek out a psychologist in sports, because especially baseball, once you go down that path, it's hard to get it back. So hopefully just a reset, getting away from it. And because, look, we cover ECU baseball probably as much as any college baseball team gets covered, just us as a media, I don't know, city, whatever the right word is, as far as Pirate Radio, Hoist the Colors, the Reflector. We give ECU baseball a lot of attention, a lot more attention than other college baseball programs get. So there is a microscope there, and once the guys start struggling with high expectations, they can start to feel some pressure. So it is important to remember, go back to your roots. Why did you play baseball in the first place? It was an enjoyable game. Yeah, it's important to go out there and win. That's what we're all, watching, and as a fan or whatever, that's what you want your team to do. But if a player puts too much pressure on himself, they're not going to have any fun. If you're not having any fun playing sports, then you're not going to have success.
Another thing, almost on that note, and we both kind of got into it with Carter Spivey. I asked about his journey. You talked about it with him as well, and just seems like a different guy. We can come out and say it. Like early on, he's coming out to President Carter. And I think we talked about kind of maybe a cocky attitude for a young guy, which a lot of guys come in like that. Just the way he is now, and hearing him talk, and he's not talking to give us good quotes or for fan service or lip service. Like, he is that person that has kind of grown up in life, went from a kid to a young man, basically.
I'll 100% admit, I completely wrote him off after his third year, and I didn't think he would be a guy who, I didn't think, A, he would return, and B, be a guy who would return into a major contributor. And he proved me dead wrong. He proved a lot of people dead wrong, because usually you see guys struggle through maybe a year or two. To struggle through 3 years and not really have any consistent success. And he came in as a pretty highly recruited kid, so he always had talent. But he was another guy, it seemed like mentally the game had gotten to him, and maybe he wouldn't get it back. And you just saw a flip switch. He did have some success, especially the middle, early middle part of last year. And I still point back to that Coastal game, man. In the championship game, when they gave him the ball, I was like, this is either going to go one of two ways. Like, he's either going to go out there completely confident based on what he's done this year, or he'll revert back to maybe the guy he struggled with confidence at times. But from the first inning on, like, you could see him get the ball stand on the mound and basically be rocking back and forth. Coastal, you remember they would like take their time BSing in the batters, in the on deck circle or taking their time. And Carter was up there like a man possessed on the mound, like ready in his stance, rocking back and forth, staring him down. I'm like, all right, he's going to go out there. He's going to shove today. And that was not the Carter Spivey we had seen the first 3 years. So he just like a totally different guy. And sometimes it just takes a certain amount of time or a certain amount of opportunities before they find that. And he's obviously found it and is going to be a big piece of the team this year. And that's why, we do this job. We love, obviously, sports, but we love telling those stories the best, man. Those are awesome stories to share from our perspective and make it worth it.
Another thing I picked up, I'd love to ask the entire roster. I know Cliff Godwin is way more old school than new school when it comes to kind of technology in baseball and things like that, but I asked Garrett Saylor about spin rate. He says, I'll be honest with you, I have no clue what that is. I asked Alec Makarevich about launch angle, velocity, and he I think said, launch angle has nothing to do with your batting average, which, by the way, Cliff Godwin doesn't like batting average.
Right. So
what's up with that?
What's the answer here? What's more important, launch angle or batting average?
But that, just talking to those two veterans told me that they are more of a let's go out, take BP, look at our swing, see what we're doing, but not focus on the new age stuff so much.
Yeah, and if you're, I think if I was a pitcher, I would kind of be the same way too. Like, especially if I was having success, I'd be like, do I really want to know what my spin rate is on this or that? And almost just like you can start overthinking it. Now, if you're like a pitching coach or, it's your job to analyze that stuff as like Austin Knight is, I'm sure he uses it as a tool to further evaluate, hey, this guy's spin rate is this. Here's what that could potentially mean if we hone up his command, his fastball or his breaking ball should play up pretty well based on his spin rate, that sort of stuff. So you have all those metrics to kind of base an opinion on. But, it's so much time watching pro baseball a lot as I do. Like, they reference a lot of that stuff, and there are guys with high spin rates, high velocities that just never pan out for whatever reason. Like, I don't know if it's their delivery or what, but no matter how high spin rate, how high velocity they are, they get hit hard, their fastball. So it's very differing, and it's just another tool, but it's not the full picture.
Also, asked Austin Knight, I'm glad I did, the ECU going to the new the watch as far as getting in.
So I guess it'll just pop up with what the pitch is supposed to be, like fastball.
It's like a text that says throw a fastball.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
outside corner. All right, gotcha. Are you sure? How do you shake it off?
Because then you don't want to double check. You wouldn't want to get a number on your watch and then have to check another wristband to see what the number is.
So to shake off a sign, you click back like, no, I don't want to do that.
You got to scroll down and pick what option you want.
But it's not going to be a huge deal or a difference. I guess they just won't be wearing those wristbands. Although the wristbands, which I see them in Major League Baseball, the Braves always have them. Acuna and Harris are always looking in their back pocket, pulling out cards. I wonder if they'll still have them for defense and things like that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have something like that. I know some of that scouting report, too, based on kind of where to line up, based on the situation and all that. But, yeah, baseball's crazy, man, compared to like 15 years ago. None of that stuff really existed. You just had signs and get it and go. But
everything changes, and that includes baseball. Looking forward to doing some over-unders with you next month, Igoe.
You're not going to bring Ronnie Woodward back for that?
I don't know. If you think he'd want to do that? He still knows Hoover.
Yeah, he called me the other day asking me about, he was like, I think his team's going to be pretty good. Are you buying the hype? So we just had a conversation about that. He had listened to Media Day, and yeah, I mean, I think he'd be down if he could find some time.
All right, at least on those veterans that he knows that has seen play. But like Lane Hoover, batting average, to go back to that this year, like I could see a scenario where Lane's in the 380s this year.
He batted, 360 something last year?
Was it?
The craziest thing about it was, and I didn't realize, so I referenced the numbers the other day. I think he had 35 walks compared to 20 strikeouts. I mean, those are incredible numbers.
Yeah.
And, if you're walking that many more times as opposed to striking out, you're doing an incredible job. I don't care if you're hitting the ball past the infield or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his job.
He led the team last year at 341.
Okay.
And
standing average.
35 walks, to 20 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's awesome.
I mean, that is a huge number. I mean, if you're even with walks and strikeouts, you're doing a great job. But if you're 15 plus 15, that's big time, man.
Igoe, you covered every home game, and we'll let you go at your 5:47 time. But what Pirate? Boy, this Pirate was hit a lot last year. What Pirate led the team on hit by pitches with 12? I don't remember this.
Is he still on the team?
No.
That was a very non-confident no.
No?
Gosh, now I'm trying to figure out who's actually on the team.
Unless he is on the team. I don't think he's on the team.
Wait, you don't think he's on the team?
I don't think so.
Is it an outfielder?
There was a catcher. Is Ben Newton on the team?
Oh, no, he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
good. Ben Newton is
Good,
the answer.
yeah, because
I don't remember him getting hit that
He
much.
had an elbow pad, and he would crowd the plate.
Okay.
So
there you go. So because you got McChrystal back there. Who are the other options?
Will Coxon,
That's
McChrystal,
okay.
and then Nick DeLisi, a freshman. He's coming off an injury. They're going to be left-handed heavy in the lineup this year, which they were left-handed heavy last year. This year,
Cliff Godwin told you they're going to be even heavier.
more heavy. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like Alec Makaravich is basically just going to bat lefty due to an injury. And you think about it, outside of Starling, who else hits right-handed? I mean,
McChrystal lefty.
McChrystal's a lefty. Will Coxon's a lefty. Nate Chrisman, the freshman shortstop's right-handed, but Connor Rasmussen is lefty. Barini hits lefty.
So Jenkins Coward,
Hoover. I mean,
Riley Johnson.
Riley Johnson's lefty. Cunningham's a lefty.
Yeah.
Luke Nowak, I think, is a lefty. I mean, they're going to have.
That is very odd.
They're going to have 7. Dixon Williams from Conley, he's a lefty.
But I tell you what, right-handed pitchers that come in here are
they're
in
going to
trouble.
get smoked. Now, I mean, last year the splits weren't bad for being lefty heavy, but this year it's going to be Moylan lefty. It's going to be extreme, and so that could be something that could be a detriment or a positive depending on what the matchups say over the course of the season. But the weird thing is Texas came in here with 2 lefty starters, and both of them got rocked against ECU. So it doesn't always necessarily equate to that.
I feel like that, and maybe I'm wrong, but maybe that's less of a thing it used to be, especially college. But even major league, are they still? Do you still?
It's not as specialized due to the 3-pitch minimum, or 3-batter minimum in majors. But college, you can still change every at bat. But nobody has really
You run out of arms.
Yeah, the top programs have a couple lefties, but I mean, if you're in the American, even ECU struggles to have more than 1 or 2 guys in the bullpen there.
And every year, ECU has the most depth, almost by far, pitching
for sure
in the American.
So it's more of for me like a postseason thing, which is it's not like Cliff. I don't think designed it. Hey, we want 8 lefties in the lineup every day, but it's just kind of how it works out in your best.
And you probably
players.
thought Agnos and Giles.
Agnos and Giles could have hit righty. The guy Parker Bird who got hurt.
Oh yeah,
he could have been playing. He was a right-handed hitter. You had the other freshman who got drafted. He was a right-handed hitter.
Right.
So it was just kind of a freak deal too.
Igoe, thanks for hanging out.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
And we'll see you in Minges.
We'll have live updates on the Hoisted Colors message boards as East Carolina host the Memphis Tigers. Pirates in the top 100 of the net rankings.
Wow.
Memphis at 73.
Oh, good one tonight.
So it should be a good game.
You know what we'll do when we come back? We'll play Guess the Line for ECU Memphis women's basketball. But Shirley, we need to make somebody a winner. Let's open up that booty bag.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250 is the number. Shirley, what are we giving away today?
How about a $15 gift card to Wings Over Greenville?
Oh, man. Wings Over Green right about now. What call are you looking for?
12.
Caller 12, 317-1250. We're back after this.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors, Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. Jeff, how can you help people with service in 2023?
We continue to offer free pickup and drop-off for the customers, and our customers' time is valuable. So we've added 3 additional Express Lube technicians to reduce wait time. That's our #1 goal for 2023. And please don't forget, we service all makes and models. We're voted #1 in Greenville by the customer. Come see us at 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington is celebrating 40 years in business. That means big savings for you on your favorite men's and women's clothing and accessories. As you would expect, Rhonda has slashed prices 40% on select merchandise. Outerwear, slacks, assorted sportswear, and shoes for the men. Dresses, sweaters, blouses, and outerwear for the ladies. Celebrate 40 years with us and save 40% while it lasts. We're here because of you, and we thank you, our friends and customers at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington.
It's important to make the right call this NFL playoff season. Make the right call with your team by ordering Wings Over Greenville. Wings Over Greenville has over 20 different flavors to choose from that are sure to be a touchdown every time. Pair those wings with a side of waffle fries or garlic parm tater tots. And if you decide to call an audible, try their delicious chicken sandwiches or wraps. Don't forget, they deliver. With no third party needed, Wings Over Greenville has their own in-house delivery service. Make the right call today by dialing 758-9464. Wings Over on 3. 1, 2, 3. Wings Over!
This isn't your regular cola, so this isn't your regular cola ad. No beach parties or family barbecues here, just Nitro Pepsi, the first cola ever infused with nitrogen. So forget everything you thought you knew about soda, because that nitrogen gives us a whole new experience. Think an infusion of smaller bubbles for a cola that's got a lighter, smoother texture. And don't get me started on the pour. You don't pour this like any other cola. We're talking turn the can completely upside down and watch as those bubbles cascade into the glass to create a frothy, luxurious foam topping. Can your cola do that? I didn't think so. Unless you've got your own Nitro Pepsi, in which case cheers to your great taste. Because you already know that the only thing better than the pour is the unapologetic cola taste. What else is there to say? From the creamy foam to the smooth texture to its unbelievably delicious flavor, this is cola like you've never had it before. Time to bring your taste buds to the next frontier. Nitro Pepsi. Smooth, creamy, delicious.
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
This is Brian Packard, ECU former baseballer. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Congratulations to Luke Phillips of Winterville. Picked up a $15 gift card to Wings Over Greenville. If you're looking for wings to be delivered to your home, Wings Over has you covered. With no third party needed, they have their own in-house delivery service. Be sure to try the all-new tender sandwiches by ordering ahead on the Wings Over mobile app. And they're open till 3 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, so they have everything to cure those late-night munchies. Give them a call at 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville, they deliver. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live, here on a Wednesday. We got another break to get in, so this will be a short segment. And during this short segment, I would like to wish a happy birthday to Pirate Radio super fan and treasure chest winner Chad Moore.
Boom, boom, boom. Now let me say, well.
Happy birthday, Chad.
Let's all sing happy birthday to Chad. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. Let me say hey-o, hey-o. So, Chad, I hope you enjoy your day. Coming up tonight, Buccaneer Music Hall Scoreboard presented by Da Buck.
Da Buck.
Mention the college game. Oh, by the way, East Carolina and Memphis coming up at 6 o'clock. We got to play Guess the Line. And we're going to let Shirley play, too, because it's her favorite game.
I hate this game.
ECU, Igoe just gave you the numbers. ECU, top 100, net rankings, Memphis 76, he said, so pretty even there. Pirates really good at home this year, 9-2. So, Chandler, what is the line for ECU versus Memphis tonight?
I'm going to go Memphis minus 3.5.
All right, Shirley, what is your line? Boom, boom, boom. Let me say hey-o.
Hey-o. Boom, boom, boom. Let me say hey-o, hey-o.
East Carolina 4.
Shirley wins because it is East Carolina minus 1.5.
Wow.
The Pirates are a favorite tonight at home against Memphis, so should be a good one. That's going to be fun. Chandler, you will be there, right?
I will be there.
All right. Oh, I sent Chad a happy birthday on Twitter. He responded, "Thank you, sir. Hashtag boom, boom, boom. Hashtag wayo." So thank you for that. Let's take our final break. We'll come back. You're ready to wrap things up here on a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after these words.
Winslow's is now Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room. With a brand new look, Fifth Street Hardware also has a new menu and serving lunch and dinner every Tuesday through Sunday and brunch starting at 10:30 on Sundays. What else is new? Well, they have poker every Tuesday night, Trivia Wednesday with DJ Captain Morgan, and on Friday and Saturday nights they have live music open till 2 a.m. serving light appetizers all night long. New look, new name, same location on Fifth Street. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for more specials. Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. January 4th saw 1,000. I'll have some thoughts right after this.
He needs to go sit over there in the corner and say a prayer to the good Lord that he's got all y'all working for him because he's got a good crew there.
It's Pirate Radio Live with Clip Brock.
Clip, he's like the wide world of sports.
Chandler Honeycutt.
Chandler, he's like y'all say, he's the Rain Man of ECU sports trivia.
And Shirley Rhodes.
Shirley, I can tell she's the glue that holds y'all all together.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio.
On January 4th, when ECU played UCF in Greenville, I broadcast my 1,000th ECU basketball game. I remember they asked the legendary late, great Joan Rivers how she felt after 1,000 interviews on the red carpet. She said it just means, quote, I'm old, unquote. Well, I guess I am old, although I don't feel it, and people tell me I don't look it. But 1,000 games is 1,000 games, and it's been over 35 years. At the end of the day, it's just a number, but when pressed, I tell folks if it means anything at all, it is a testament to 1, perseverance, and 2, flexibility. When you've worked with 9 different basketball coaches, all with different personalities, you better be flexible. So like Old Man River, we'll keep rolling along for a while longer, and we hope you enjoy listening to the games as much as we enjoy providing the play-by-play. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
Have you experienced increased aches and pains recently? Have you heard of CBD? Hemp Garden is your premier CBD retailer in Eastern North Carolina. Do you find yourself having anxiety or in need of extra sleep support? Hemp Garden has a variety of Delta 8 and hemp-derived Delta 9 products that can assist with those issues. If you're unable to stop by the store, don't worry. Give them a call today at 413-6100 for a consultation, and they'll ship right to your door. Hemp Garden, 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
Familia on Fire Tower Road in Winterville has a brand new updated menu. Open from 4 to 9 Tuesday through Saturday and 11 to 9 on Sundays, Familia has a variety of pizza combinations and classic Italian dishes that are sure to tackle your taste buds. Enjoy Thirsty Thursdays with $3 drafts with several local brews on tap. And who doesn't love brunch? Familia has Sunday brunch from 11 to 2. Follow Familia on social media for their pizza of the week for just $12. Visit online at familianc.com. Familia, that's Italian for family.
This is Carson Wistenhunt, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Let's take a quick look at your stock market report, and the Dow was up 9 points, closed out the day at 33,743. NASDAQ was down 20 points at 11,313. S&P was down 0.7 of a point and finished at 4,016. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors LLC, member SIPC. Now back to the show. Here's Clip.
All right, wrapping it up. Thanks to Shirley Rose, Chan Man. Great job today. Thanks to our guests, Stephen Igoe, P. Mace, and the voice, Jeff Charles. Thanks to you for chiming in, listening, watching today's show. And if you only took one thing away from today's show, I hope it's this. The Out Here brothers said it best when they said those famous words, boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say, wayo. Just think about that tonight. Marinate on it and really soak in the words and live your life by those words. We'll see you Thursday, 3 o'clock on an edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This